over, but the dreaming.
I'm Jess Rogie. An Ohio man witnessed a strange series of color flashes that turned the night sky red, orange, pink, and purple. In a doorbell video posted to Facebook by Tim Walker, it shows a series of rapid flashes that change in color and size over 20 seconds. The video was recorded January 12th, just before 7 p.m. Duke Energy told Fox 19 that over 500 customers lost power for 2 minutes just before 7 p.m. on Sunday. However, a crew that was sent to inspect the lines found no issues. The first piloted flight of SpaceX's Crew Dragon is likely a few months away. The uncrewed test demonstrated the spacecraft's ability to keep astronauts safe in the event of a launch emergency. The Crew Dragon capsule in the Falcon 9 rocket that will fly Demo 2 should be ready to go by the end of February, according to SpaceX founder Elon Musk. The company will check and double-check all necessary systems, and mapping out the schedule for the ISS mission will take some time, he added. The two astronauts, Benkin and Hurley, were on hand at NASA's Kennedy Space Center on Sunday.
Really exciting day for us to see this big milestone get accomplished by the SpaceX team and the NASA team. It's a beautiful day here in Florida, and probably the most exciting part is to see how much of it kind of proceeded as expected. And so we just saw a lot of wonderful results that we've seen so far just match up with what our expectations were, which is really cool.
Great to see the teams come together. Real challenging launch countdown as far as the weather was concerned, and to see it culminate with a successful test. We'll look at the data, and hopefully everything will lead us to getting ready for DM2.
The contamination of U.S. drinking water with man-made forever chemicals is far worse than previously estimated, with some of the highest levels being found in Miami, Philadelphia, and New Orleans. Some of the PFA chemicals known as forever chemicals because they virtually never biodegrade. PFAs are a group of industrial chemicals that have been used in consumer products such as nonstick cookware, waterproof fabrics, and food packaging. Exposure to some of the oldest and most studied PFAs include PFOA and PFOS, which have been linked to high cholesterol, reduced immune response, and an increase in some cancers. Researchers sampled drinking water at more than 40 different locations in 31 states between May and December of 2019. Those samples were analyzed by a third-party laboratory for 30 different chemicals in the PFAs family. According to EWG, PFAs contamination had not been publicly reported by the Environmental Protection Agency or any other state agencies in the 34 of the sampling locations where the chemicals were detected. This is the Rogie Report News on the Fringe FM. I'm
Message is being broadcast by the Department of Defense of the Republic. At 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, multiple unidentified objects were confirmed to have entered Earth's atmosphere.
Discovery Houston, 20 seconds to LOS egress.
Contact, nice, be in orbit. The first message that comes to me is you are a divine being. You matter. You count. You come from realms of unimaginable power and light, and you will return to those realms.
The vast stretches of the unknown and the unanswered and the unfinished still far outstrip our collective comprehension.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from Forest Tower Studios, all the way from the Deep South. Now, here is your host, Joe Root.
Broadcasting from a shack on a hill in the Mossy Creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas. This is Lighting the Void. And I'm your host, Joe Roop. It is Thursday night, the 23rd, on into the 24th as we approach the new moon. And you know what that means. It's time to bring on our mystic Mary Dusina is with us tonight. The mother of the program, the witchy woman, the one that always blows the phones up, breaks them down, and changes your life. She's here with us tonight, so that's coming up just shortly. I want to thank our sponsors for the show at GetTheTea.com. Ronnie McMullen's doing big things over there when it comes to helping people out, cleaning you out, changing your life, making you pay attention. So go GetTheTea.com at GetTheTea.com. Go get the tea at GetTheTea.com. Also, Ancient Life Oil, the best CBD oil on the planet. And our other sponsor, Metaphorical Archaeology. If you've had any paranormal trauma or any stress from a paranormal event, you can give them a call at 214-995-3754. Do it. That'll help you. It'll change your life. It'll help you to get over it. And go give UFO seekers a view on YouTube. Share their material because, like I said last night, YouTube is killing us, man. In the paranormal, mystical, metaphysical worlds, they are dropping us all down, and they're putting the big boys up there as far as the news and corporations go. YouTube, you have officially sold out. And that's the truth. However, we'll still keep putting them up there until they get tired of us, I guess, until they don't want our stuff up there anymore. You can give us a follow on social media too, at Lighting the Void on Twitter, Lighting the Void on Facebook, lightingthevoid.com. Donate to the show or grab some swag. We get people that get new t-shirts all the time, and I just keep throwing those pictures up. I got a really cool one today. I don't know who the guy's name is. I think it might be Chuck. He might have got another t-shirt. I don't know, but he shows him spinning records while he's wearing his Lighting the Void t-shirt. And then also, I want to thank Navier Alora for coming on last night. That was a hell of a show, and she got herself a shirt too, all the way out from Hawaii. awonderingwitch.com is her website. But tonight, it's the New Moon Special with Mary Dusina. We're going to talk for the first hour. You need this information. It's a really important time right now for a lot of people, especially, I would say, emotionally, financially, friendship-wise, career-wise. It's a really important time for a lot of people. So the information is going to be pertinent, and I wouldn't really call in until probably the second hour unless you just want to wait on the phones, which is kind of smart if they start blowing up. And we'll start taking your calls after that. Now, if you don't know who Mary Dusina is, first off, the website's marydusina.com, MaryDusina, marydusina.com. She was the first psychic call-in lady in the Tampa area back in the 80s. Had a very successful call-in show there. Born on Halloween, our favorite witchy woman, shaman, star astrologer, psychic. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Dusina. What's going on, Mary?
Lighting the Void family, Void Walkers, Aquarius. Yeah, I won't quit my day job. I'm so excited to see Aquarius new moon. Joe and your audience, it's finally, we're going to have the air element, and the energies are lifting up from the heaviness that we had from our heavy, not bad, but heavy, like there's no escaping the fact that we got to face a lot of our limits. Because Capricorn, if we go back to our new moon in December, in late December, we had all this Capricorn parade that started to happen up. And we haven't had really all that Capricorn since the year like 15, 17. So for me, not this incarnation. Now, maybe all of us are linked somehow if you believe in the soul constantly evolving. Who knows? It's as good of an argument that we may have all had an incarnation, a walkabout, as the Aboriginal people say, back then. But we're living right now through the first time that that's happened since the 1500s. And that just is kind of just wild to me.
Scary.
So everything now is beginning to shift to Aquarius with this, and that's going from the earthy element into the air element. So it's like Capricorn is the key, and Aquarius is what downloads and upgrades you in mystical ways. I think of Aquarius and I think about Phenomena. That I loved that movie that John Travolta was in, Phenomena, where, they ended up making it look like it was just because of a brain tumor. I don't want to do a spoiler alert to you, but if you haven't seen that, when he goes from just being the small town guy to being able to have all these phenomenal visions and insights and feelings, and how it affects the people around him, because when that movie came out, it was still very woo-woo to the masses. So Aquarius is like that. Aquarius is, a lot of people confuse it with a water sign. When you first start learning astrology, it's a little confusing. but it's the electrical fixed sign of, in the northern hemisphere, the most powerful usual time of winter, like that late last week of January going into February. And so we have the water bearer constellation. But here's the thing. The masculine yang, and I'm all about good masculine yang, so let's not start doing this gender bias thing. So the masculine electrical yang vibration of Aquarius, the water bearer, which is the star in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. The star is the Aquarian card. On that deck, they have a female. But it's got to do with that water bearer is pouring out the manna, the bread of heaven. So it's the true pictorial imagery. It's the archetype of as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. So it's literally our ability to receive in meditation, in prayer, in ritual ceremonial fashion. We're able to literally receive the starry messages, the divine encodements, the frequency upgrades. And that's what's going on as we enter into this weekend. But the new moon in Aquarius is generally very like, oh yeah, because it gets us outside of our usual conundrums and where we're stuck in the same old, whether it's our desires or our fears. But all of us Capricorn, this new moon, which is the first, now wrap your heads around this, this is the first new moon of our new decade and our new year. So what's happening is that it ties back to the lunar eclipse that we had that started out this year over January 8th, 9th, 10th, in the moon's strongest, most powerful, most magical, most emotionally enlightening or erupting sign of Cancer the Crab, because the moon is home. Its home harbor is the sign of Cancer the Crab. It was once called Moonchild to the Persian astrologers, which I still do. When I'm doing my client charts or I'm on media with it, it's Cancer the Crab, Moonchild, because the moon is happiest and the moon is the most powerful to influence the whole feminine yin, nurturing, self-nurturing, as well as motherhood, the whole matriarchal vibration. So then we go back to the new moon of December 28th, and just because that's happened, that energy's been running as a background wallpaper until tomorrow, Friday, when we have the official new moon in Aquarius. So this Capricorn Cancer, in magic, it's the polarity of that. In astrology, there are really 6 signs, and they're polarity matchmates. So that new moon, our former new moon in Capricorn at the last week over Christmas time, or the actual day of Christmas going into that next day in Capricorn, that stirred up all our patriarchal, how do I take care of myself? What do I want in an emotional link? How am I walking in tandem with my authentic self? So Capricorn's polarity is Cancer, the crab, Moonchild. So then we have from the last part of December, then our first full moon of our new decade, new year, was an eclipse in the sign of Cancer the Crab, Moonchild. That rolls the traditional, I'm a traditional astrologer, Western astrologer, it's just my bailiwick that I like. So this full moon lunar eclipse that opened up 2020 and started a numerological vibration as well, that Joe and I want to just teach you just a little bit about it, not to get too heavy, but to help you be savvy, is that what's happening is that it's encapsulating the past 18 months, and a full moon lunar eclipse blooms out a minimum of 87 to 90 days. So start counting. So that means 2.5 to 3 months from, let's say, January the 9th. So February the 9th is 1, March the 8th, 9th is 2. So when we come to April, the first week of April, just then do we graduate with karmic kisses or karmic kicks from this lunar eclipse that happened in January. So the teaching tool of astrology, it absolutely is a language, it's a therapeutic tool, but you don't have to use it. You don't have to incorporate it at all, but it's fascinating when you start learning about the turning of the wheel with our seasons and our particular months of the year can so easily dovetail in with the spices and the flavors of the signs, and as they kiss and touch your planets, when you kind of know that in advance, it's like turning on your GPS in your car. It's like you know what's in advance coming up for you for the year. So no, it's not supposed to be something you believe in or rule over you, or it's certainly not saying that that's interfering with your relationship with Creator, God, Holy Spirit, Great Spirit. Absolutely not. It's just another type of soft science like psychology is, or meditation is, or Reiki, the benefits that you get from Reiki, or any kind of ceremonial service that you go to that inspires you to be a better version of yourself. And I believe in to thine own self be true, and physician know thyself. And for me, being a traditional tarot person before all these oracle decks came out, to me there's a difference between traditional tarot understanding and just another tool, just like learning colors or learning numbers. It's not supposed to interfere with your spirituality. It's supposed to enhance you psychologically. Tools, psychological, artistic tools for you to occupy yourself enough, to trust yourself enough to become more authentic. It builds your self-worth. It builds your confidence to say, okay, I'm an Aries, so there's the lousy parts of Aries, there's the lousy parts of Libra, there's the lousy parts of Scorpio, and then here's the light. Here's the higher aspects of this sign. So then it incorporates what all religions talk about, what all spiritual systems talk about, your own fated free will and your choice. And that's what's happening as we're sliding out of Capricorn and all these planets that were in Capricorn. As we opened up this year, the Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, by the time we get to February 17th, Mars will move into Capricorn. So what we've got shifting this weekend, and it's big. I mean, look at all the stuff that's hit the news just since our last new moon at the end of December, with earthquakes and Puerto Rico and fires in Australia and all of this. It's about our Earth Mama, and that's that lunar eclipse in the Earth Mama sign when we opened up January. So the Earth is now saying, as the First Nations people taught me, wherever Mama Earth is shaking, birthing, quaking, she's talking to us about, I don't care what mainstream news media and everybody's trying to block and or be covert about it. There's no real hiding when our blue-green jewel starts wanting to get our attention. So I look at when there's floods or fires or earth shakings or quakings, like when there's earthquakes, we need to think about maybe doing our meditations with movement, with Tai Chi or martial arts or some type of dance or going to live music, because that's what helps an earthquake zone. Because to the native peoples, shaking medicine, whether it's a seizure or whether you're dancing and just blowing it out and having a good time at a concert, you're actually shaking the body. Your temple, your earthly body is shaking. So if you're on the side of the world where the earthquake isn't happening, try to do some type of spirited ceremonial dancing prayers for that area. If it's fire, then we join as tribes of light because we're all Earth citizens, and we send, as I was busy doing every day, sending over to New Zealand and Australia, and when California had the fires, every day, even though I was in the lush mountains, every day I was sending, Creator, please allow there to be help for the firefighters and let the water come and let the water not be devastating. Cool these areas. So we're supposed to, you study light work for a long time and you do all this stuff, your yoga and your Reiki and all this stuff that you do, and it's not just so you have all this knowledge and you don't do something with it. We now, as light workers, as warriors of the heart, we're going to all start to get in touch with, currently in 2020, a 22 4-year, higher number, 22. We're going to now get a real upgraded vision about what our mission is at this point in our lifespan. This is a hallmark year. It's a game changer, and there's going to be, as Aquarius can be, being the 11th sign, earth-shaking, a bit bizarre, certainly phenomena, sudden eruptions and sudden restorations. I believe that whatever challenges people have had, there can be like supernatural healings and supernatural heart vision understandings, and people that had to disassociate from painful abuses of rejection or abandonment in their childhood or unsavory experiences from predator types. This is that year that you will have supernatural, paranormal healings and restorations. That's what's up there for us if we'll just simply get in our toolbox and make the choice. The archangels and the divine frequencies are always around you, but it's up to us with our God-gifted free will to be the seeker and say, I choose to summon that. I choose to invite that into my vessel, into my mind, into my emotions, into my world. Thank you for the upgrades of the people that are entering my life, and thank you that I can bless the people that need to exit from my life. I trust the process as I keep and continue working on me to be a better version of myself and to be authentic with myself and to be a life artist. And that's what Aquarius is saying to us. How can you let your freedom and your radical aliveness have wings now? Aries has a polarity of Leo. Leo is the heart chakra, and Aries has to do, I'm thinking about Aries with you, Joe. Aquarius has to do with how we let our heart take wing and how we let it fly. So those two are tied together, and we're leaving a very strong feminine yin vibrational time that started in 2017. We're now moving and shifting this year into a very strong air element. So our eclipses, the nodes are going to change to Gemini and Sag. Mars, around spring, we're going to have Saturn briefly dip into Aquarius. We're going to have Mars, which normally spends about at the top 6 weeks. It's going to spend 27 weeks because of retrograde in the sign of Aries. It's home, powerful harbor. Mars loves Aries. And it's been 2 years since it's been there, and it's going to spend a phenomenal time in its home sign in Aries. So that's when we start becoming life warriors, and we champion the causes, and we understand the reasons of why we're going to buckle down and work on our dream and be radical with pursuing what our heart and our soul believes that we're to do at this time. But right now, Capricorn is saying, do the work. It's nitty-gritty, and I told you guys this back when we first were talking at the new moon of November, when all this Capricorn stuff came up, because it's ruled by Saturn. Saturn's at home right now in Capricorn. Jupiter's lighting that up a little bit, believe it or not, because it's in Capricorn this year till late December, and it's saying, I promise you, there's bigger blessings and greater rewards if you'll stop procrastinating, stop being caught in the past, just move forward step by step, day by day, and break those habits of where you're self-sabotaging, go deeper within yourself where the fear orbits are or the insecurity, patterns are. Right now is the perfect time for the pendulum to give you the key, here's the keys, and now you can start to unlock it. And that's what the Capricorn opening was. And whether you like it or not, and this has nothing to do with politics and nothing to do with religious preferences or anything, Capricorn is a conservative pendulum swing. So the winners this year are the ones that are willing, and a lot of times I have to say, you have to use faith. A lot of times you're doing tremendous amounts of work, and the earthly money isn't pouring in yet, so to speak. But I really do believe in the metaphysical concept. If you'll start doing what you love, if you start working with what you love, and have a love affair with your creativity, the money will follow. And that's what's beginning to shift right now. Aquarius is saying, trust your dream. Because when we get to Pisces, that's the dream weaver. Right now, Aquarius is that old little nursery rhyme, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Mm-hmm. It's like astral travel and your meditations. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So what are you dreaming and working on? How you working your dream into reality? An Edgar Allan Poe thing, a dream within a dream. So that's what this is saying to us. What is your dream? Don't answer it for me. Answer it for you. And I do believe my spirit guide said to me that tonight's readings, whoever gets through on the phones, whatever cards come up, whether it's animal or my Rider-Waite deck tonight, that those spoke to me to come out tonight, it's going to have some kind of, no matter what you're told, no matter what your question is, there's a multi-layer to this. There's a multi-dimension to this, and it's also going to be a clue that rides with you from tonight into what I told you in March, like a piggyback type of message that's a seed tonight that's going to continue to bloom and blossom as we get toward the end of that lunar eclipse phase around the end of March and the first week of April.
Well, you know what? I can't.
How about that?
I mean, I can't say that you weren't right about all that. There's been a lot of transitions happening to people, painful stuff too. you know?
Oh yeah.
Super painful.
Oh, I've heard it. I've heard it for 3 months, Joe. I mean, really deep. It's really here's what I love about it though. With my clients, I'm hearing more and more about, man, oh man, that was a tough epiphany to get to. It's like they had to jump in with their boots or their high heels to really get in there and risk their vulnerability and take the chance. But if they're really honest with themselves, it's like, I really did have a lot invested in how I wanted that to go or how I wanted that job to go. And I can't believe the psychos I'm working with. I mean, I'm hearing it from all the signs, but I'm hearing it especially from those signs that are being affected by Uranus and Taurus right now, getting ready to clash with this Aquarius new moon. This new moon's got a clash coming up with the ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign. Its governing celestial body is Uranus. Well, Uranus is in a very stoic, I don't like change. I only like change when it comes to me like this. It's like when we kind of want to control it and direct it and have it go our way, like a little 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. I want it. Or like that J.G. Wentworth commercial. It's my money, and I want it now. That's really Taurus. So Uranus, which rules, take a radical step, smoke it, party, go, and then, go out there in the mountains and meditate with the Indians, and you'll come back changed. You'll come back changed. So it's like we dove in, and there was a lot that we had to let go of and say farewell to. So maybe some karmic kicks with a few karmic kisses, but we evolved because of it. And I just keep hearing that from my guides. February, karmic kisses or karmic kicks? What do you want to do? And so we're beginning to see that, okay, I just need to trust the process and know that I'm okay. And if I'm going into any one of these experiments of my emotions or it's stirring up my psychological self, I got a lot of people that all of a sudden are having erupting memories of childhood stories. And we all have a storybook of life. And a lot of people that had shoved things down about a marriage or a divorce or someone that died like 30 years ago, all of a sudden that story's being replayed for them. And it's like some old embedded trauma is wanting to be released. It's okay if we have the memory, but we can also release the trauma in the wound. So in our storybook, just like a children's storybook, or you're telling a fairy tale, or it's a ceremonial story, a fable at a healing circle outside under the stars, as long as we release the highly charged toxicity of the trauma, and I'm a Scorpio, so I do not say that you have to like them. When it comes to forgiveness, that work is supposed to be for you. That doesn't mean you forgive what he or she did. It means that you release it, you cleanse it, you let it go, and the forgiveness power is for you. It has nothing to do with them. Remember, I'm a mystic. So, I go with the mystical way. So, yes, I get the Father forgive them, they know not what they did, because if they knew what kind of pain and game player they were doing and the toxic or narcissistic or sociopathic or wounded animal hurt that they were putting out and what was going to bring back to them because they were doing it, deliberately hurting people or deliberately lying to people, it's coming back to them. I just want to get myself out of that kind of equation when I start to sense toxicity. It's not me judging them. It's me protecting my soul.
Yeah, I understand.
And you get that. When you have your boots on the ground for a while, I can still love any person that lied or got jealous of me or tried to cut me out of a deal or whatever because, in this business, Joe. People get jealous and they want to steal your ideas and they want to take the slot that you've got. You know what? I love that you have all kinds of mystics and psychics and healers and other astrologers. I love hearing them. When I have the ability and the time to tune in, I love it. I love Scarlett and Dan, and I love Nish's astrology stuff, and your lovely guest last night. I love that these people, and Jeff Harmon, and Lisa Allen. I love that these people have the herbal and the astrological stuff. And like Joe always says to us, if you've had problems with your family, my idea is, I always say to people, I believe our big karma is the family that we incarnated with, the bloodline. That's our karmic gifts and challenges. And then we find our real sisters and brothers of the stars. Then we start to build our real tribe, and then we have their back.
Yeah, that's usually where the shadow work leads, because you start out like with your family, and then later on in life you make your relationship and friend and career choices based on your family or your past, your childhood. Yep. And so, but when you dig back through that shadow work, you have to dig back through the past relationships, past friendships, And then it leads to the family. It leads to your childhood 9 times out of 10, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's a reference point. And you realize that when you go to get a few years down the road, then you realize, okay, yeah, Dad wasn't there, and that was difficult, and I was a tough child. You know, sometimes it reverses around. It's like our parents were really good. You know, I've had clients that had parents that were really good to them, and that child has to deal with shame because they're the ones that became toxic and addicted and disrupted the whole pretty little family thing. So it isn't always that everything goes perfect because you had a mom and dad that stayed together and nurtured you. A lot of times the kid, you know, kind of fractures the family there for a while. So one way or the other, we're going to have to learn those lessons of when loss comes, when the test and the trials and the tribulations of, do you choose the light path or do you choose the darkness? You know, we have to learn about energy temptations. We have to learn about what's toxic for sustaining the best, better version of ourselves. We have to be able to say and listen to that inner voice that says, now, you know, that's too much of that, or, you know, that's not good for you. And it's okay if you're doing that right now, but you need to start, you know, it's like that old Saturday Night Live skit. You need to take a look at that. So it's got to do with, will you at least start to do the mirror work? And instead of doing all this fancy stuff and studying all these fancy things, I promise you, once a month, do it at the full moon. Go to the mirror. It's a form of self-authenticity called scrying. Light a candle. Don't put on artificial lights. Light a candle. So there's just candlelight in that, usually a bathroom. I'll just walk in a bathroom because it's a smaller space, and just look in the mirror in your bathroom across from your vanity. Look into the eyes of you in that mirror and ask you telepathically, silently, to send those energy waves. First, send from your physical eyes to the eyes that are looking back at you from the mirror. I love you. I trust you. We got this. And we call the light. And then just take a really deep breath and ask that image in the mirror, eye to eye, how are we doing? What would you like me to know? What would you like me to feel? What is it I'm to know at this time? It's free. You can do it within probably 5 to 7 minutes. But you know what it is, Joe? A lot of people don't take the time to go do the work. And you can't just pick up a book and read it. Yes, you'll get some seeds and pearls of wisdom, but you've also got to participate. And that's my only real complaint with the eyes on the games or the Netflix or the phones or whatever. Put it down and go dedicate just a magical number of 7 minutes or 11 minutes. Go do that so you've got an emotional connection. Like your dopamine and serotonin lift isn't coming just from the AI techno. You know, go to a mirror. Go to a mirror and look at you without looking at your body or looking at your hair. Or I don't like my makeup. Forget all that. That's vanity. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you just to look at yourself with candlelight, and I love doing it at a full moon, and look at your eyes. First, salute how far you've come. Because no matter what you think you go through in life, no matter what hardships or challenges I went to the edge of death 3 times already, no matter what you face, the most difficult thing that we survived was we came through the birth canal and we're right here listening to this, or we're processing the things that we're going through that didn't go or work out the way we wanted to, the love, the work, the money, or whatever. We went through the scariest thing already. We left whatever world you think you came from that breathed life into this body temple, this vessel, and you couldn't wipe your rear end, you couldn't feed yourself, you couldn't put clothes on you, you couldn't keep yourself warm or even hold your head up.
Yeah.
But you survived it.
We got to take our break here, Mary. So when we come back, are you going to go through the signs and then we'll start taking calls?
I am.
Correctly? All right.
I am.
That's what we're going to do then. So get ready to hear your sign and what's coming for you and all this energy stuff. There's some intense stuff going on right now. We'll be right back with Mary Dusina. Stay with us.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's School of Charm and Social Graces, where this month only you can receive a complete free lesson in knowing which fork to use to scratch your back.
I think by now we can get the information.
I love magic, and on Lighting the Void, each and every week, you will get to hear shows about magic, mysticism, and many other subjects that stretch your mind and imagination. So when I got my mind on the magic and the magic on my mind, I listened to Lighting the Void on the Fringe FM. It's magic.
May the gods look with favor upon you.
You're wondering what we're going to do to you, aren't you?
You can tug all day long on a carpet that's been glued to the floor. Then you hurt. There are many strong glues out there. Let's see, there's liquid nails and Gorilla Glue. You ever try to remove 3M 5200? That adhesive is strong. Then there's bathroom caulk, silicone rubber, adhesive tape, super glue, flex tape, and stickers. Graffiti. Scientists have come up with glues that stay stuck and can't be removed. Until now. Until Handyman Formula by DeBond. That's right. 95% of adhesives become unstuck when you spray Handyman Formula directly on them. Just spray, wait a few minutes, and remove. It's amazing. Most adhesives become unstuck when you use Handyman Formula. Visit DeBondCorporation.com or MCMaster.com. Call 561-575-4200. This stuff really works. Handyman Formula by DeBond, a great Christmas gift.
Okay, here we go. AncientLifeOil.com. AncientLifeOil.com. Now this is for CBD. AncientLifeOil.com. Again, for CBD. Where do I get CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. It's pretty good stuff. Organic, non-GMO. We are the Ferrari of CBDs. AncientLifeOil.com. You know, they say when you mention a person's name 3 times when you first meet, that you're going to remember. So I'd say to you, nice to meet you, AncientLifeOil.com. It's AncientLifeOil.com, right? Nice to know that you help people. AncientLifeOil.com. Think about this. Occasional stress, occasional anxiety, occasional inflammation, occasional stiffness, and intruders that get you down. AncientLifeOil.com. Okay, so I'm going to give you a fact for the day. So Ancient Life Oil does not help you with business deals. Hold on a second. If you feel better, it could help you make a better decision. Okay, I'm wrong. Just remember to go to AncientLifeOil.com.
All right, everyone, this is Justin from the UK. Excuse the chitty. If you're into the Fringe and you want to hear the brass tacks, my old china plate, Joe Roop and his guests on Light in the Void will open your mince pies. You need to shut your north and south and use your 10-speed gears and listen to them bubble. You could hear a Barry Crocker, no Brussel, but he ain't no holy friar. Anyway, you beat a Barnaby Rudge and take a butcher's.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Father Mortimer's Drive-In Church, the only church in town with an express confession lane for 6 sins or less.
You're listening to Lighting the Void. The call-in number is 1-800-588-0335. If you would like to text, you can text in at 501-777-5631.
All right, here we go. We're doing the signs. The signs, your sign. Mary Dusina's with us, and she's going to be talking to us about what's coming in for you. So I guess we'll kick off this thing, Mary. You're going to start with Aries this time?
First, we're going to finish up one more little thing that I've not heard any other mystic or astrologer talk about that Joe and I had mentioned, because Joe noticed it too. And I've heard people talk about 2020 adding to a 22, which is a master number, a higher vibration of 4. But this is a 4-year. 2019 was the 3-year. So 2019 was a testing year to push all our boundaries so we could start to uncover what our creative impetus was going to be. But here's something that I was sitting there studying the stars like I do with all these numbers and things around me. And it's like, oh, my God. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Since October of 2019 and through this year, coming into March, every one of the new moons is at 4 degrees. And then I thought, that's interesting. And then this weekend on the 24th and the 25th of January, this new moon, of course, is 4/22. And I looked at that today and I'm like, whoa, it's not just a 4-degree lunation again since October of last year, but it's a 4/22. These numbers, 22 and 4, is really wanting to grab our attention. And then Mercury, which is also in Aquarius, and it's going to be challenged by Aquarius's ruler Uranus, and this causes these sudden eruptions, okay? Like it can be like a seemingly innocent thing, and it's just like ba-bam, like your whole day changes because of it. Mercury's at 13 degrees. That's a 4. So the 4, when you look at a Native American medicine wheel, there's the 4 key directions. When you look at a natal chart in Western astrological artistry, there are 4 main divisions. We call it the cross of the chart. So there's the ascendant, which is east, and then you have the west, which is your 7th house, all your significant others. The midheaven at the top is the 10th house, and below is the 4th house, which has to do what we were talking about with the karmic family of origin and our ancestral blessings or curses. So there's like 5 4s going on right now as we come into this particular new moon. So look at 4 and how it's showing up in your life and what the number 4 seems to mean to you. It's known as, most rooms are square or rectangle, and you have 4 different ways to look around that room. It's the sacred geometry of the rectangle or the square, even though we have it in ceremonial circles, and there's a direction of west with water, and there's the elements. So it has a lot to do with this new moon also starting the Lunar New Year, and it's going to be their sign of what they call Aries is the metal rat. So the entire Chinese zodiac is starting over again, too. It goes in 12 years, like the way a lot of our Western zodiac things do, like a Jupiter cycle. So we start the Lunar New Year this weekend on the 25th also, and so we've got another surge of, as far as an animal totem, we've got the mouse-rat vibration going on, and it's a higher frequency because it's the metal rat element. So it has a lot to do with starting up things and really having that faith as your fuel to believe in expanding the dream that you want to do. So you just ask yourself a question. As I get into these signs, you ask yourself a question. Do I feel inspired by the work that I'm doing? And if it's me that's lazy, if it's me that's not doing my top gun that I could do, then I need to really apply myself. I need to listen to this forecast. I need to do that mirror work that Mary suggested, that her guides gave to her to suggest to the Lighting the Void family. And I need to participate. I need to be really serious about, I need to do my work that I believe in my dream. And I do believe that my fuel will accelerate what's meant to be for me in a harmonious, balanced fashion. Aquarius is going to give us the ability, after all this heavy emotion that Joe and I have been talking about, this new moon that launches over the 24th and 25th, Aquarius is wonderful for helping you turn the light switch off of taking everything personal, getting on the defensive, everything being highly charged emotionally. It lets you be almost like an alien in a sense, but not being shut down, but being more the vibrant observer. It's like you're able to be like an antenna, and you can really see what's coming in and how you're broadcasting. So it's like you become the actual broadcasting equipment that you are using instead of your phone or doing a podcast or being a voice jock or whatever it is you're doing. However you're getting your message out, Aquarius is like, pay attention to that. I'm an air sign. Aquarius, even the symbol of Aquarius, if you're an architect, is the symbol for electricity when you're building a building or a house. It's the symbol of where the electrical current goes. So we're moving away from a magnetic vibration or drawing down power from the moon, and now we're going into an electrical vibration, and the yang vibration is get out there, be seen, think about how you're delivering the arrows of your words. And in the tarot, it's the swords. So I want you to take the word swords, and I want you to put parentheses around the S, separate it, and then you've got words. It's an S in front of words. So the swords or the spades in the card messages have to do with what messages are coming in. Are you able to receive them without prejudice or judgment? Can you just be the bird on the wire and receive it and understand that when we're in the air element, how are you charging up your own atmospheric space? And breath work is very important right now for all signs, but especially for Aquarius and its polarity, Leo, and the other 2 fixed signs, Taurus, fixed Earth, and Scorpio. fixed water. So those 4 signs this weekend have the most downloads coming in, have the most visionary messages, and possibly some real thick frustration that they've got. They may be doing kind of a blame-shame game with themselves. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. They may really have to look at the muckety-muck that they keep throwing themselves back into that quicksand, that psychological or that emotional quicksand. And I wish I could say that that's not true, but when we have a new moon, it's our great star of the Milky Way spotlight, the sun, marrying the moon. It's very mystical. Yin and yang marry in the same spice or flavor of the Zodiac. So here we go. Here's the tour. Here's the Cosmic Conditions tour. So happy birthday, Aquarius. I happen to get on very well with Aquarius. I love how they think out of the box. I love how bold they are. I learn from Aquarian people because they do not usually get bogged down by their emotions. And Aquarius is the 11th house, and in our star charts, the 11th house cycle and the energies of Aquarius in our own personal star maps has a lot to do with who we tribe up with. So right now, it's not a me and you kind of a thing. It's got a lot to do with broadening our horizons. If we're interested in someone romantically, how does the tribe kind of like them? Like, instead of family meeting them, like the old traditional way to do it, now it's kind of like you pick one of your tribe members, and instead of just discussing it, you kind of listen to how your tribal brothers and sisters go, ooh, I like this vibe. Ooh, you look really at peace with this. This isn't agitating you. You're not even trying to control this. This looks like it's got a nice mojo flow to it. So Aquarians right now, well, these are January-born Aquarians. It's the Aquarian cycle, so that's what's lit up in your personal chart. Aquarius and Taurus are the big spotlights right now in everybody's chart, regardless of your 3 power signs of sun, moon, and rising sign. So if you're an Aquarius, it's like, go, ready, set, go. Don't sit on your duff. This is a time for you to be I am that I am. That's whatever sign is featured that the sun is lighting up is not a time for you to rest on your laurels or be complacent about this new year, this new decade. So for Aquarius right now, it's like, okay, what am I putting after the 2 words I am? If you're saying all the time, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired, or I'm tired of going to that job, or I'm not happy in this relationship, Aquarians need to be put on point of what they're putting after I am, that self-talk, and what they're actually thinking in their minds over and over again as they're driving their car to designated places of hopefulness. So for Aquarius, it's like, light it up, light it up. It's like, get out of your own way. This is not your time to worry about finishing things. This is your time to begin it. Be seen, present your idea, start it up yourself if everybody's giving you a negative. Well, I don't think that'll work. If you're an Aquarius, just say, yeah, watch this. I'm going to bust a move. And Aquarians are bold enough to do it. Remember, it's a polarity to Leo. Yeah, really, you're dealing with a lion inside of an Aquarius, which I happen to like, but I'm not scared of wild animals. If you're a Capricorn, now this eases off for Capricorn, and they can start to see some material world benefits. I feel like that there could be new job assignments, or it could be that the Capricorns, whatever they're studying in school, the conversations that they need to have with their significant partners in their life, both business and personal. I see Capricorns getting value for their efforts. So although it's been quite the tough time over the last 16 to 12 months for Capricorns and Cancers, that's Capricorn's polarity. I feel like that both Capricorn and Cancer are beginning to see payoff for their effort. Now, for a lot of you, Capricorns, that payoff is going to be that you have finally surmounted your fears, or you have finally had some real great therapy or results on you working on yourself and not getting in, not tripping yourself up, or I don't like using the term shoot yourself in the foot, but Capricorns can get very stoic and disenchanted and, not believe in love anymore. They don't want to risk their vulnerability anymore. And so I certainly will say it's been a testing ground for that, till you be a doubting Thomas more than a, excited chatty Cathy type of a thing. But I do feel like that, I guess what I would say to Capricorn, if you've had a tough go of it over the last 12 to 16 months, especially in your intimate personal life, it's kind of like that, what's that old saying, Joe, about separating is it the wheat from the chaff, or the chaff from the wheat, or however that goes?
Chaff, yep.
Yeah, that's what's had to happen. or people that have strong Capricorn and Cancer in their chart. Sometimes when we kind of settle easy, it's not until something is taken from us that we can see beyond it. It's like we're so dedicated to be the nurturer and the pleaser, and I got to do my part in this relationship and all that. Sometimes we're so dedicated that if they came into our life, then we've got to help them. We've got to fix the bird's broken wing, that we end up being too empathic, and yes, there is such a thing, or that we end up dangerously close to becoming codependent, and neither one of us are bringing out the best in each other, and we can't really figure out why, because we're taking so much energy and making so much effort. So this is a breaking up of that for the Capricorn and the Cancerian signs. As we flow into February, it's going to be like, wow, what a ride. So if you're a Pisces, now this is the tender time of the year for Pisces born. And I'm going to give you guys a little astrological teaching that you don't find presented so easy in all these books out there. I've had them all. I've gifted them. So here's a little rule. Now, I'm not saying this is your bad time of the year, but it's your low ebb time of the year. So let's think of it in a sense of high tide, low tide. When we go through our lowest ebb of a year is when we're 30 days before our birthday. And yes, that's your sun sign. That's a solar cycle. When I do your chart, I tell you when your other low tide cycle is, which is 30 days before your rising sign begins, for those of you that know astrology. So for Pisces right now, the sign before Pisces is Aquarius. So we're 30 degrees or 30 days away from Pisces beginning, so to speak. So let's say the Pisces that start having their birthdays around February 20th, 21st. So for all those Pisces, like the March-born Pisces, and especially, this is your 12th house. This is the last celestial cycle of winter in your chart, even if you live in Australia. And here's the 12th house cycle is when we're embryonic and we're about to have a major rebirth. So it's not supposed to be a time that the spotlight's on you to get all the attention or the applause. It's supposed to be your introspective cycle. So however you connect with the Creator, however you connect spiritually, and what inspires you, and how you can take care of your own wellness holistically and physically and mentally. So for Pisces right now, it's a report card time. Like you and whatever inspires you spiritually. And if you don't have that at all in your life, then some things can start to embed stress-wise, and we start to have physical ailments. We start to have depression. We start to feel tired. We just want to sleep, or we want to go take, that pill, or we want to drink too much. And what's happening is we're seeking escape. We're seeking to stay in the womb and not have the birth. It's just like, no, I don't want to go through the labor. I don't want to be reborn. I just want to stay here. Everything's nice and quiet and dark. So for Pisces right now, take care of your health. That's number one. If it's been too long since you've had your teeth cleaned, if it's been too long since you've had something checked, then at least research it and talk to somebody about whether the situation warrants you going to just get a less expensive, go to a dental school and get your teeth cleaned so you don't end up having to have the money to do a root canal or a cavity. And I teach my clients, when we're going through our personal 12th house and 6th house cycles, that's when you want to take care of whatever health problems coming up, especially in your 12th house, because guess what? 6 months away from this time for Pisces, if they don't address their health issues, their psychological and physical health issues, 6 months later they're at the dentist or they're at the doctor because they didn't deal with it back when they had their first intuitive signal. So if you're a Pisces, number one, health and wellness, especially how you're doing mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and if that's beginning to be too hard of a labor on you physically, like it's really dominating your day. You can't seem to get out of your head. You can't get it off your mind. You're compulsive. You're getting into a compulsive or an obsessive pity party or victim status. So for Pisces right now, it's time for you to grade yourself and not slip easily into that whoa, pitiful me victim stuff. If you're in Aries, green light cycle, big time green light cycle for Aries and Libra in your chart, because for Aries, it is the 11th house cycle. Aquarius, I call them the A-team. Aquarius is very compatible with Aries as a celestial rule. They're compatible brothers. And so when we have Aquarius, it's a stimulant. It's a starry stimulant. It's a nice Kickstarter type of campaign for Aries. So their creativity can net them profits, and they can have like meetups and greet-ups and get their points across and not have to do the debate with whoever they're working with, and you get their ideas like, listen, we need to do this for marketing, and I'm beginning to get complaints about that attitude or that approach, and I just would like you to stretch your creativity a little bit and don't be so angry or don't be so rude or don't be so quick to judge, and invite your audience in or invite the people at work to have coffee with you, and try to find it. If what you're doing isn't working, then try to step out of the box. Aquarius is always bohemian. It's always humanitarian. And it's always about the group mind. It's always about the tribe. So for Aries right now, the more that Aries takes the approach of, I can get a seed, I can get a pearl of wisdom and a seed from each one of my compatible links in my wheel that's turning in my life to give me momentum to move forward. So I really feel that Aries and Libra right now, even though the Capricorn stuff's been hard, you've now got the relief team in here. You've got the people coming in to lessen the burden. And as we get further into February, I feel like that Aries is going to say, wow, I'm really seeing results. This is good. This is good. However, that needs to be measured by you. If you're a Taurus, Taurus is linked to Scorpio as far as polarity. And Taurus and Scorpio have got some stuff to deal with as far as, for Taurus, it's going to be about what are you doing to micromanage your money and how do you want to liquidate or invest. So for Taurus, which is a comfortable subject for Taurus, but the fact that Uranus, the planet of sudden uprisings and revolutionary radical changes, is in the sign of Taurus right now, they could have immediate job shifts or changes, and they may all of a sudden, which is very rare for a Taurus, they like consistency, they like routine, they like, I don't care, I want to go there for that many hours. Their comfort zone is I go that place for that many hours and I get this much money and this is what I do for work. They don't like sudden changes or surprises if they're strong Taurus in a chart. But all of these planets are affecting the career, work, authoritarian figures. So if I was a Taurus, I would not be using my phone while I was driving at all because you're going to get that big ticket. Or speeding. All those tickets have gone up, people. If you haven't got a speeding ticket in a long time, it's like big money. It's like big money. So if you're a Taurus, don't be running the red light. Don't be distracted while you're driving, and certainly don't get distracted when you're running any kind of machinery because it could be that. And don't skimp corners at work just because you want to get out of work early because your boss will catch you. If you're a Gemini, it's ninth house, higher mind, spirit connection, and I've had a pretty strong callback from a lot of Geminis, and they seem to have, they're talking to me about they feel like they've unplugged from what inspires them. Like for Geminis, it's like I'm hearing them say, I'm frustrated. As a Gemini, they got all kinds of irons in the fire, emotional life, and if their work life is going good, they're bitching about their emotional life. And it's like, if you're a Gemini or a Sagittarius, you need to have interesting stories in your love life. Like, you want your partner to be engaged with how you're telling the story and to join you in that, to make the whole table conversation more uplifted. Gemini needs to have the stories. Sagittarius, their polarity, needs to tell the story. But Gemini needs to be entertained mentally. So if you're trying to hook up with the Gemini man or woman, you better intrigue them mentally. Because that's, as far as you wanting to pick them up or get their attention, you've got to be if they're not attracted to you, if they're not turned on by your mind and how you communicate, not much else is going to happen or last long. So with Geminis right now, they may be planning out of the country travel or making stronger internet connections with people that do not live in their proximity. So for Gemini, there's something of a foreign affair that's going on, or something of a completely different culture or a completely different type of creative stimulation that's going on. So it's higher mind, and I would say to you, Gemini, if you miss the time, if you've not made the time, or you miss, or you feel like that a real subtraction in your life is that you don't have that spiritual stimulus that does that for you, whether it's Jewish or Catholic or Baha'i faith or Sufi or whatever it is, then I think you need to search a little bit. You need to attend some different seminars or workshops or books, or find yourself that truth teacher, or do some tapping like Barbara Charlton does. You need to kind of get your trauma out of the way. Get your trouble and your trauma out of the way if you're a Gemini or a Sag. If you're a Cancer, we spoke about your polarity with Capricorn. It's 8th house. So people with Cancer moons and people with Cancer sun signs or rising signs, there's like an inner fire that's going on with them. Like they've just gone through an emotional tsunami since like summer of last year of 2019. And I feel like that there's a creative credit that's coming for Cancer Moonchild people. I feel like that instead of just the fear tidal waves that came in, because Cancers tend to hold on too long or hold on too tightly, they try to squeeze it too hard with those little pinchers. I feel like now what's happening is their ideas are flying. It's like for Cancer, I want to say you are a rebel with a cause now. That you're not going to let a person or a bad relationship at work or in your intimate life scar you as far as what you believe love is and love can be. You're not going to let a mere mortal interfere with the magic that you know happens at the heart chakra, that you know your soul can inspire and be inspired and be more powerful when you sync up with that right kind of intimate inspiration. And I see that now building for people that have strong Cancerian influences in your chart. It's the right kind of sexy, it's soul sexy, and it's the kind of orgasms that orbit in different ways instead of just the physical addiction. This is like otherworldly. It's not just limited at the astral level. It's more etheric. It's just like, dang, who knew? So you guys are going to have fun. If you're a Leo, okay, the polarity to Aquarius is Leo. So if Aquarius is east in the beginning of the medicine wheel, the beginning of the star chart, then for Leo right now, it's the sunset time. It's not the sunrise, it's the sunset time. So if you're a Leo, then you need to be very on point to support and nurture and enhance your significant others. And that isn't always just our live-in mate or our intimate partner, our people that we choose to be in an intimate entanglement with. Who you work with every day, your child that you see every day, these are significant others in your life. These are the SOs. These are the SOs that show up in your life that are orbiting around you all the time. So let's say you have a cranky relationship most of the time with a parent. If you're a Leo or a child, if you're a Leo right now, you can learn from these people. These people are your truth teachers right now. However prickly that might be, when we go through our 7th house cycle, and Cancers and Capricorn have been dealing with that with the eclipses, but now with Leo, and that hit Leos hard in 2015 and 2016. Leos and Aquarius are like, holy moly. And then Cancer and Capricorn went through it. And so if you're a Leo right now, you're beginning to kind of raise your eyebrow and saying, am I really participating as much as I could with my boss or my child, or, making peace with that parent without compromising my needs or what I believe in? So with Leo, it's about your significant others. Virgo, it's your 6th house. We were talking about Pisces dealing with their psychological nemesis or addictions or toxicity. And if you're a Virgo or you've got a Virgo rising sign, you need to absolutely incorporate some get the tea, CBD, cannabis cakes, deal with your stress. I mean, you need to cut back on drinking, or if you're going to drink and you enjoy the uplift of a drink, then get some Strega liqueur that has 70 herbs and spices in it, so it builds your immunity, or get you some Saint Germain elderflower liqueur because it kills viruses. So start thinking of an absinthe is another type of immune detoxifier. So some of these sponsors on this network, like if you detoxify with Get the Tea, you get the built up stuff out of your system, and then you start looking at, I posted on my Facebook page, the top 10 anti-inflammatory herbals. So like you get you some ashwagandha powder, or you work with aloe gel, or you start working with rosemary and basil in your soups or your stews or your cooking. Just kind of toss those herbs in, get a little plant from a place and actually put the fresh frozen or the herbal leaves and flowers right in there, because then you're getting the oils and you're getting all that anti-inflammatory. That's what detoxifies your body and helps you de-stress. So Virgo, you got to pay attention to your health, period. I mean, if you're running yourself ragged, I have to tell you, you're going to pay the price if you don't take time to nurture you. 3 more. Libra, it's your 5th house. So with Libra, it's pay attention to your children, pay attention to your children of creativity. Fifth house is about speculation. It's about taking a risk. So now Aquarius is enhancing that because Aquarius and Libra and Gemini are star brothers. They're all the air element. So Libra is the cardinal air element. And like Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries, you guys have had your rear end handed to you since the beginning of December with all these Capricorn planets parading around. They challenged Aries and Libra, especially if you've got combos of that in your chart. But right now it's about flirting with life and letting life flirt back with you. So for Libra, I'm saying take it light. Don't make it serious right now. Just really enjoy what flirts with you, how you can up your game about flirting without an agenda. Just simply like show up and be pleasant and be charming. That's the key word for Libra. Be charming. Just be charming without expectation of return. Scorpio, I mentioned it with you. It's fourth house, so kids and family and all your exes from Texas and all your ex relationships. It's like Scorpios, they just really need to like clean it up. It's like there's too many roads under construction in Scorpio's life and their emotional, intimate, romantic life. I've got that all cluttered. It's like I just keep seeing like the guards that are on the highway, all the highway guys in the fluorescent vests going to slow down, wait, it's not your turn yet. And then you hear all the drills and things digging up the pavement. It's like there's a lot of construction zones going on with Scorpio. But as they progress into February and as we come to that full moon of February, which will be in Leo, Scorpios will begin to get themselves unglued or not. So, okay, Scorpio, listen up. And I am one, so I can talk with authority. I've got a stellium in Scorpio. It's time to get yourself unstuck. And if you don't, then the glue board's going to get you in February. And it's going to take you all the way till August to get out of your muckety-muck quicksand that's going on psychologically that you keep running from. I don't run from it. I run head into it because I'm into metaphysics. So whatever level that you're at, Scorpio, you're stuck. There's somewhere in your life that you're stuck, and you complain about the kids, or you complain about the house, or you complain about the city, and you complain about all these external things, and then you lie to yourself, which thus then makes you turn around and lie to people in your life that could matter. It's like you seem like you're buying for time, or maybe it's denial or the avoidance type of thing because you haven't really unraveled how tired you are from carrying around all the ghosts of your past. So Scorpios, there's no more hide and seek, and there's no more run away. It's like you've got your ostrich totem with its head in the sand. The ostrich just pulled its head up out of the sand, and it's now on the insurance commercial. It's running on TV. So it's like it's got sunglasses on. It's ready to peck some people. So you need to own your stuff. And the final one before we start our phone calls to help out our void walkers is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is another favored sign. It's a third house thing for Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius out there, is there something you're wanting to write? Is there a conversation you're wanting to have? Do you want to teach? Do you want to study something and teach? So those books that you loved, the things that you love to, if you play music, maybe you're going to write a song, or you're going to go to the flea markets or festivals and go into some bluegrass or some rock, bands. There's something to do with the fire signs, really. Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries getting something out of musical gatherings, musical groups, or, play the music more than the television if you're a fire sign right now, and especially Aries and Sagittarius. You guys need some sound healing. You need to just go rock out, just go, or if it's bluegrass, or if it's, religious music, whatever it is, you need to go give yourself, just get out in the field, under the sun, under the stars, and let the music take you away. And that's the signs.
Wow. Okay. All right. So when we come back, we'll start taking your calls. The lines are already starting to fill up, so stay with us. We'll be right back with Mary Dusina.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Reconditioned Worthless Doohickey Store. Remember our motto, if you're looking for something you don't need, can't use, and don't want, you've come to the right place.
This is Crow 777, and you are listening to The Fringe FM.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to getthetea.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's getthetea.com.
I'm Ryan Gable, and I want to remind you to keep your radio, phone, tablet, or computer tuned to The Fringe FM, and visit the website thefringe.fm to listen to the entire lineup of shows. You can also catch my broadcast, The Secret Teachings, Monday through Friday, beginning at 12 a.m. midnight U.S. Pacific Time, right here on The Fringe FM.
Alex X.
Hi, I'm Alex Exum, and you're listening to The Fringe FM.
This is Reverend John M. Polk. Please visit me at johnpolkmedia.com and visit my show, Quantum Hologram Matrix, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday on thefringe.fm.
Hey Fringe FM listeners, did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or no Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of the Fringe FM by calling 701-719-3971. No smartphone app or internet needed. Saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call 701-719-3971. That's 701-719-3971. Listen to the Fringe FM on any phone, anytime, anywhere.
Ew, yuck. They're unhealthy and gross. Bugs, I hate bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. From contact, it kills bugs. Plus, Orange Guard kills hidden bugs and keeps new bugs away for weeks. I know. I use Orange Guard. Plus, all of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally regarded as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It promotes a healthier planet, and here's a bonus. Orange Guard cleans where it's sprayed. Plus, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard.
You can get Orange Guard at Ace Hardware. And listen, folks, Orange Guard is tougher than bugs, and it's safe to use. Go to orangeguard.com. That's orangeguard.com.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Hola, Fringe listeners. This is Dave Cruz of Beyond the Strange, and you're listening to The Fringe FM.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Dance Clothing R Us, where this week only all customers named Juan will receive a ballet outfit absolutely free. Yes, it's our annual 2 for 1 sale.
To call Joe, pick up the phone, dial 1-800-588-0335, toll free from the United States or Canada.
All right, welcome back to Lighting the Void. I'm your host, Joe Roop. Tonight we are here with Mary Dusina. Mary, the witchy woman, the one and only, is here to take your calls. So we're going to start doing that, and I got to tell you, Mary, the lines are already full, so you got people waiting already. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We'll take your calls, get your free reading from Mary, And don't take it for granted. Really take in what she's saying. Who's been waiting the longest? Let's see. It looks like line 2608 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with? Hold on. I don't know if they can hear me though. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, 608 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Hi, Joe. This is Doug. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Doug.
How you guys?
Hello. Blessings. Thank you for calling. Thank you for staying up with us.
Too. I'm at work right now, so I'll be up all night. Which is kind of why I called in.
It is.
I had a question, and I don't know if I thought maybe I'd just let you decide if I should ask my question or just get a general card and see what they have to say and see if it answers my question.
It's a bigger question. It's a bigger question because the magician just flew out sideways. And so when you're a traditional tarot teacher and, you kind of look at the meanings of when it's upright or it's topsy-turvy and it comes out sideways, then it's not letting me see it upright or reverse. It's sideways. So it's still in the formation. It's still in the manifestation. But there's no escaping the fact that, number one, when you get into the major trumps of the tarot, the regular tarot, there's a difference between tarot and oracle cards, okay? Big difference. So in the tarot, which has been around the longest before all these other little fluffy varieties of oracle cards came out, the magician is, you have the power of the force to call in what it is that you really want to have in your life, even if that's a silent medicine bag that you're working with yourself. So I always say when the magician comes out, you have arrived at a very powerful spotlight. And I would urge you, just to make sure, this isn't a warning, it's a cautionary suggestion, be very careful and very aware and awake to what you're claiming you want or what you're asking for, because when this card comes out, you have the power of the forces, either light or dark, came up sideways, for you to actually create a big life change, a big monumental scenario that'll start to roll out. So I see you at a very powerful highway intersection. I like it. It feels good to me, but it's not just your typical year rolling in for you. This is going to be a year that you make some major decisions and some major actual turns to the left or turns to the right. And when it came out sideways, the head of the magician was aiming to the right. So I feel that this has a lot to do with it's beginning to be the right time, right place for you to decide to position yourself into a change that you feel like it's my turn. I deserve it, and it's my turn, and I'm going to declare this. I'm going to call this to me, and I'm going to declare this, but I'm open to my divine source guides, my archangels, my holy guardian angel. In the meantime, I ask and invite that the light source that works with me as I'm beginning to desire this and summon this to reveal to me anything that might be at cross purposes with myself. Because when you do a regular Celtic card spread, when you involve 10 or 11 cards, including the querent, the card that represents the person making the inquiry, called the querent, the only card that's turned horizontal in that spread, which is often a teaching spread I like to teach my clients, represents whatever might be at cross purposes with the inquiry, with the querent. So the one asking the question, querent, inquiry. So the magician came out sideways in that horizontal position. So it tells me that you're open to hearing the yays and the nays, because it feels to me that you're more intuitively allowing and secure if you know. Like some people will say, I always want to know the worst case scenario, because if I prepare myself for the worst, everything is the best. Does that make sense with you? Do you understand why I'm saying that to you?
Yep. It's kind of like I'm in a situation where I got two choices, and I kind of jumped the gun on one of the choices, but each thing has positives and each thing has negatives. Mm-hmm. And I drew a card today and said, should I not do this? And I got the Ace of Swords.
Nice card. I love the aces. So those are my go-tos in my deck. That's the Ace of Air, And the Ace of Swords shows where's your willpower, because the sword is how we're summoning our will, either with our words or our actions or our inaction. You know, sometimes when we don't say something, that's taking an action. Sometimes when we don't do something, that's also taking an action, because the inaction is really the statement that we're making. I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I'm in silence because I'm in a mood. You understand? It feels to me,
yes.
I guess my answer to you, the way I'd wrap a bow on this, is I feel like by February 20th, like somewhere around the 17th to the 20th, you're going to be real content with whichever one of those paths that you want to take. But I'd venture to say that you get some really big clues the 7th, 8th, 9th of February. Be very open to your guides revealing to you at that full moon. You're like, the door's opened. It's like your guides want to talk to you. You're in a lucky phase because your sources are going to show you the clues and the signs and the omens and the symbols that you need to see without everybody else in both of those situations recognizing that you're looking. You know, like you've got a little bit of a cloak of invisibility, the magician. You're able to kind of like poke the tiger and not get bit. Make sense?
That sounds, and that's exactly what I need.
I'm glad I could help you. I'm glad you stayed up with us.
Thank you for your call, Doug.
I love listening to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's
thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You have a good night, sir.
Thank you.
Take care, you guys.
Bye-bye. Okay, looks like we got one line open, so call in at 1-800-588-0335. Our next caller is 928 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Hey, this is Dawn. This is in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Dawn?
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Joe. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm pumped. I love this Aquarius new moon. I love it. It's that Bohemian Rhapsody side of us that we can start to fashion our own parade. Or it's almost like, well, you realize Valentine's Day, people that mate and the person that gets pregnant around Valentine's Day is going to have a Halloween birth. They're going to either be, it's going to be the 30th, 31st, or November 1st. So, yeah. So I see the whole Valentine. That's my second favorite holiday without romantic expectations, because it's the seed that impregnated to have the whole, Hallow Samhain vibration take place. Do the math, count your months, you'll figure it out. So with you,
I already did.
Do you have a specific question, or do you want me to just tell you what comes to me?
Go ahead and tell me what comes to you, or the cards, however you want to do it.
You're sweet.
The birthdays. Did I give you my birthday?
You can give me your month and day.
Okay, April 25th.
Taurus.
1970.
So that's okay. Go ahead.
1970.
1970.
Okay, I'm feeling with you. I want to go back 12 years, and I'm feeling with you that, and you can let this bloom out later, but do your math and subtract 12 from 2020, not 12 from 2019. And I'm feeling that there's something to do with, there was a dream, or there was a hope, or there was an involvement somewhere around that time, 11 and a half years to 12 years ago, that didn't quite hit the mark as much as you wanted it to, or as much, maybe you were invested more into it emotionally or in some earthly material way than what actually, I don't feel like it matched you back with the same level of involvement. And I feel very, very good about your personal, intimate manifestations in the first 6 months of this year. I feel like that you've cleaned up a lot of stuff inside yourself. You're pretty much a self-teacher, self-starter, and you dive in there. And it's just like, okay, you have like these little talks with yourself, like really serious talks with yourself now, Dawn. And I feel like that nothing was wasted. And I feel like that I see this psychically, I see this like little crown. And it actually, speaking of liqueurs tonight, it makes me think about one of my other medicinal liqueurs called Chambord, C-H-A, Chambord, B-O-R-D, and it's made with honey and black raspberry liqueur, and it was known as, this may be a past life thing, it's known as the drink of the royals in France, in that region of France. So kind of just let the idea orbit that you may be surfacing in your Akashic records or your past life, something to do with the French region or the French flowers, or how you feel about, there's like different kinds of berry colors. And black raspberries are different than red raspberries, okay? And maybe right now that's literally, okay, and it's literally maybe medicinal for your immune system right now, that you may need to get a raw, unpasteurized, that's the real honey, the rest of it's just a bunch of sugar, raw, unpasteurized, like wildflower or a fruit honey, or go get you some, if your region has fresh raspberries coming in, or you have the everybody's in a different region. I'm over here in the mountains, but if you can get black raspberries and just infuse that into some raw honey and just like put that on your toast or put that in a smoothie or just get that in your system. And the other thing you got was the Nine of Cups, which is known as the wish card in the tarot. It's the 9 of hearts and regular cards, and when it comes upright, your wish will be granted. So cast your wishes. I mean, new moons are great for that anyway, dream weaving and casting forth our wishes. And cups are emotional. It's your heart chakra. It's your feelings. It's what you're wanting and feeling like that you want to call to you emotionally. So do that this weekend. Call it. It wants to hear from you.
Okay.
Listen to that laugh, Joe. Did you hear that little laugh?
Yeah. That was good.
Does that make sense to you, Dawn?
All right. Well,
a lot of that hits, and I mean, I've got a friend that filters his own honey. I mean, just, not pasteurizes it, but he collects it. And I love black raspberry, too, which is hilarious.
It's pretty specific, isn't it?
It is.
If your guides tell you,
amazing.
if your guides tell you something specific like that, when Joe and I do these shows, they're doing that because they love you and they're trying to cut to the chase and get something in your system, like magically, you're actually going to take that in, and you got cups, so that's like communion. So they're saying that something that will actually be a communion fruit and a communion elixir for your physical temple that will actually upgrade all of your frequencies, both psychically, soul-wise, astral, emotionally. So what it's doing is you're actually able to drink in that vibration of life from the bees and the flowers and the fruits, and your dreams will be stronger, your meditations will give you bigger visions with that, and for the month of February, I would definitely invest in that.
What about
Thank you, Dawn. Yes?
black raspberry mead made with actual honey
Fine.
and yeast and
Fine. That's fine.
Perfect.
And you can go to a liquor store and you can get a little baby bottle for like under $4 of baby Chambord, which is at the actual flowers that come from that region of France. And there you have your honey and your black raspberries, and that bottle, by the way, is made in the shape, there's a crown on top of that bottle. And I kept seeing this little crown.
Okay.
And I feel like that's your crown chakra, number one. It's like an opening of, and the crown chakra is the violet flame. It's transmutational energy. So you're going through some type of an electrical vibration. It's more you're plugging into things rather than letting things.
Violet.
Okay. You need to wear that too. You need to breathe it and you need to wear it. And the saint associated with the violet flame is Saint Germain. So look all that up. Look all that up. Go online and look up the power of the violet flame, the crown chakra, and Saint Germain of the violet flame. Just kind of play around with that a little bit on the internet, because your own intuition, there'll be a sweet feeling that comes through you, like a little tremble. Not a chill, a little warm tremble that'll come through you, and you'll know that you've plugged into, that's electrical, you've plugged into what wants to feed you in an atmospheric way. Aquarius is an air sign. What are you breathing in? How's the space around you? How can you improve the frequencies of the atmosphere that you live in? So essential oils and aromatherapy and wearing certain colors and breathing it in. Breathing it in. So you may be even changing.
Caller, guys. It's getting
okay.
All right. Thank you for your call, Dawn. I really appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much, Mary, Joe. You guys have
You're
a great one. Love you both. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You have a good night. All right. Looks like we're going to take this one, then we'll take our break. 662 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Do you have a question, Michelle, or do you want me just to pull the oracle?
Just random. Just
okay.
General.
You got it's interesting. You got the number 7, the Chariot card. I associate that with Moonchild, Cancer the Crab. So you've got some emotional questions and answers both coming around you. And the Chariot card in the tarot, it's a higher vibration. It's got the yin yang involved with the one Sphinx is doing the nighttime vibration and one Sphinx is doing like the morning vibration. But the Charioteer, in this deck it's masculine, is actually the one he's actually a part of, like the Chariot's a part of his body, like he's enmeshed with that. So questions I would ask myself before we go to break, I would ask myself, am I too enmeshed? Am I feeling too invested? Do I feel like that they're giving too much to me and I'm demanding too much, or are they demanding too much from me and I feel like that I'm getting drained? It's like I keep wanting to say to you, at what cost? At what price? And that may not be involving money. So I feel like that you need to look at your emotional tanks. It's like when the propane guy comes and fills up the gas tank. You don't want it to get so low, or you don't want your gas tank in your car to get too low because like sediments and stuff can get into your gas tank and it's not good. So I feel like that you need to refill your tanks. Does that make sense?
It does.
I think you got what you needed to get, darling, and I'm not being mean. I feel like that you need to, remember we're coming out from Capricorn, you got to do your work. So you allowed your tanks to get a little too low. So now you need to take action, boots on the ground. You need to take action as we're shifting from Capricorn to Aquarius to it is really okay if I take care of me and not expect other people to do it. Sometimes that's too much to put on our kid or our man or our lover, or it's too much to expect them to walk in the door and you need to be my happy pill for the day, or you need to be their happy pill for the day. Sometimes it's just too much. Your tanks are low. You need to go get filled up.
Right.
If you say in Italian before I say goodbye to you, capisce?
Capisce.
It's like, capisce, savvy, get it? Yeah, go do it.
We got to go into break, though, guys. Thank you for your call, Michelle. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mary.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right, guys. We'll be right back with Mary Dusina. There is a line open. Yeah, call in 1-800-588-0335. Stay with us.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast. Need another late night fix? You can tune in every weeknight to Lighting the Void with Joe Root on The Fringe FM.
Hi, this is David Oman with HouseAtTheEndOfTheDrive.com. You're listening to KPLK, The Fringe FM.
I'm Jess Rogie. An Ohio man witnessed a strange series of color flashes that turned the night sky red, orange, pink, and purple. In a doorbell video posted to Facebook by Tim Walker, it shows a series of rapid flashes that change in color and size over 20 seconds. The video was recorded January 12th, just before 7 p.m. Duke Energy told Fox 19 that over 500 customers lost power for 2 minutes just before 7 p.m. on Sunday. However, a crew that was sent to inspect the lines found no issues. The first piloted flight of SpaceX's Crew Dragon is likely a few months away. The uncrewed test demonstrated the spacecraft's ability to keep astronauts safe in the event of a launch emergency. The Crew Dragon capsule in the Falcon 9 rocket that will fly Demo 2 should be ready to go by the end of February, according to SpaceX founder Elon Musk. The company will check and double-check all necessary systems, and mapping out the schedule for the ISS mission will take some time, he added. The two astronauts, Benkin and Hurley, were on hand at NASA's Kennedy Space Center on Sunday.
Really exciting day for us to see this big milestone get accomplished by the SpaceX team and the NASA team. It's a beautiful day here in Florida, and probably the most exciting part is to see how much of it kind of proceeded as expected. And so we just saw a lot of wonderful results that we've seen so far just match up with what our expectations were, which is really cool.
Great to see the teams come together. Real challenging launch countdown as far as the weather was concerned, and to see it culminate with a successful test. We'll look at the data, and hopefully everything will lead us to getting ready for DM2.
The contamination of U.S. drinking water with man-made forever chemicals is far worse than previously estimated. with some of the highest levels being found in Miami, Philadelphia, and New Orleans. Some of the PFA chemicals known as forever chemicals because they virtually never biodegrade. PFAs are a group of industrial chemicals that have been used in consumer products such as nonstick cookware, waterproof fabrics, and food packaging. Exposure to some of the oldest and most studied PFAs include PFOA and PFOS, which have been linked to high cholesterol, reduced immune response, and an increase in some cancers. Researchers sampled drinking water at more than 40 different locations in 31 states between May and December of 2019. Those samples were analyzed by a third-party laboratory for 30 different chemicals in the PFAs family. According to EWG, PFAs contamination had not been publicly reported by the Environmental Protection Agency or any other state agencies in the 34 of the sampling locations where the chemicals were detected. This is the Rogie Report News on the Fringe FM. I'm Jess.
What's up, Joe? Hey man, I just wanted to say your show, dude, keeps getting better and better and better. I love Lighting the Void and the Fringe FM.
Hi, this is Aaron Hunter, host of Real Paranormal Activity, the podcast where we tell real paranormal experiences of people from around the world. And we also conduct interviews with authors, investigators, psychics, and mediums. Real people, real stories, real fear. Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on The Fringe FM. See you then.
Hey, this check is wrong. I worked a holiday and 7 hours of overtime. Not getting paid correctly is a real pain. It could also hurt our boss if our company provides out-of-compliance checks. That's right, construction companies doing business with the government can get fined, or officials of the companies can go to jail if the checks aren't right. It's a law. The Davis-Bacon Act has 30 compliance issues for every check, but there is an easy way for construction companies to be in compliance. EMARS offers Compliant Client, a web-based system that finds and corrects all 30 of the possible out-of-compliance check issues. Users of Compliant Client report an 80% savings in time and money. Running a weekly payroll usually takes about 5 minutes. All 15,000 plus clients of EMARS have never had a legal compliance issue. Plus, they sleep better on check day. Contact EMARS at emarsinc.com or call 480-595-0466.
Do you want to know the truth? Are UFOs real? Are aliens visiting Earth? Are governments around the world hiding the biggest secret in history? We're UFO Seekers, official partner of The Fringe FM, and we're on a hunt for the truth. Join us as we investigate locations like Area 51 by subscribing on YouTube at youtube.com/UFO Seekers.
Alex Exum. Hi, I'm Alex Exum, and you're listening to The Fringe FM.
You're listening to Lighting the Void. The call-in number is 1-800-588-0335. If you would like to text, you can text in at 501-777-5631.
All right, Mary Dusina's here with us. The phone lines are open, I think. They might be full. No, they're full. But as soon as someone... Just keep calling and you'll get through. We've got multiple lines here, so you should be able to get through. And I think we need to go ahead and start this shindig, Mary, because we've got people still waiting. Looks like 620 has been waiting for quite some time. 620 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, this is Ashley Lopez from Southeast Kansas. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Ashley.
Bless you, Ashley. Happy lunation, happy Chinese Lunar New Year, although I'm a little miffed at China right now. I have to clean up some stuff with my relationship with China right now. I'm getting a little aggravated energies with China and how they treat animals. So Mystic's got some work to do with that vortex, but that's my job to work on it for this new moon. Tell me, do you have a question, or I already have a card picked for you, unless you have a specific question you want to throw at the mystic?
I just wanted to share that I'm a Cancer Sun, an Aquarius Moon, and Rising,
Wow.
and I've just been feeling like a huge energy shift within and so many aspects in my life. So I was just kind of wanting you to pull a card, just knowing that.
Powerful. Wow. So like the Cancer Capricorns, since you are a solar Cancerian moon child, and now you're just now coming into your, maybe there was a Band-Aid, but now the actual scratches can heal, kind of a thing, because the Aquarius it's a soothing balm for you to come into your element, to come into Aquarius. So remember when I was saying before that the sign before your sign, or 30 days before your birthday, so I know you're a Cancer, but if you tell me you've got Aquarius rising, right? Did I hear you right that you said that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the moment the sun went into Capricorn on winter solstice at Yule, that every year, that time of the year starts that pre-birth labor, when a woman is like at her 8th or 9th month, and it's like, I hear so many women go, oh my God, I just want this out of me. Yeah, I want to have it. Okay, I just want to get it done. And I get that. So, or like kids when they went out of school, oh my God, it's May, I can't wait till I get out of school. It's like that. So you start looking at the things that make you feel crowded, or it's too tight of a space, or it's demanding too much. And your oracle card is the wasp spirit. So, of course, with that, the number is 64, and what comes with that is sometimes life stings. And I feel like that there's been something that's been sharp, had an edge to it. Maybe someone was a little too cutting or sarcastic, or you had to guillotine a certain situation or aspect of what you were going to allow, how close you were going to allow someone to get into your. Cancers don't let people in easy. And they have to kind of it's like, don't get invasive. It's too much. No, don't talk to me like that. So Cancer, that's that shell. It's like the turtle and the Cancer the crab, and the scarab beetle. Those are like symbols for Cancer the crab. It's like, I got some tender stuff inside of here, so I'm going to put my hard shell out there, and nobody gets in unless they clear it with my emotional frequency. So I feel with you that the sting or the bite happened, and you've got the Page of Swords, and so that tells me that you're in this kind of like sleuth, detective, investigation mode, because you're wanting to be like researching and gathering data and facts before you put your foot in the water again.
Hello.
Yeah.
How's that hit you?
Wow.
She took
I've
a pregnant
been doing
pause.
that.
She's like, holy moly, let me breathe in, Mary. Let me.
Spot on.
Okay, so see, what I try to do with these oracle things is give the clients strategy. So your strategy, honey, is not to focus on what was the bite or the sting or what was cutting, okay, or wounding, let's say. Instead, now you go, okay, it's like, love hurts, it's like, now you're just like, okay, so I'm going to look at what I need to exorcise, or I'm going to look at what I need to drop the guillotine blade on, not always just the person, but the actual attitudes, approaches, behaviors, patterns, la-da-da. So it's like, okay, I'm not good with that. That's not good for me. If it's not bringing out the best in me, I'm not going to present my authentic self to that person either. So you've just got to keep honoring you. And if it fits, it just happens. We spend so many years and so many months trying to show up to be what they want, or they might find so attractive, and it's just like, yeah, bite me. Bite me in a good way, or watch me walk away. Really, it just comes down to that, because all we do is spend, several months or years, or all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, I'm so entangled in this spider web. So I feel like you got yourself cut out of a spider web, and the wasp can't bite you anymore. So I hope that helps.
It does. And I'm pretty sure you pulled the wasp card for me back in September. So that's interesting as well.
Wow. So this is the second time you got the wasp card?
Yeah.
Okay, honey. So
it was either the end of
August
or the beginning of September.
Okay, of course, I don't remember that because I really worked for years. I've worked not to remember any kind of readings with clients because I want to read fresh right in the now moment, the be here now moment. So I want you've got homework, girl. You've got mail. You've got homework. You got to get on the internet and keep reading. What does the creature teacher, what does WASP totem mean? Because if it came back again out of all these cards, then there's still something that you got to put a bow on. That's not a judgment.
Okay.
It's just you're still following through. That totem is still hanging out with you, which is not a bad thing. It means you're still learning the lessons. So have you been the wasp? Did you get the stinger? Or do you need to fly away? Think about it.
Wow.
Well,
call
Ashley,
us back. Let us.
Yeah, thanks for calling. Let us know what happens. If you
I
can.
always do the follow up. I like that.
Will.
All right.
Thanks,
you take care. Bye-bye now.
You guys have a good night.
Okay. Some deep reflection there for Ashley, you could tell, right? It looks like
absolutely.
We got 479 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Hey, Mary. Hey, Joe. This is Bailey.
Hey, Bailey. What's up?
Sister.
Yes.
So it's our main Arkansas sisters.
It is. And I want to give a shout out to Ashley. Hey.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Do you want me to pull a card, or do you have a question or a follow-up?
I would like you to pull a card for me. I am a double Capricorn Scorpio rising, so I've definitely been in it for a while. And some reflection from you would be great.
See how we're hearing? See what I mean, Joe? About we're hearing Capricorns and Cancers, and watch by March it starts shifting to Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sag. 2 cards. Okay, I like the wolf in you, the wolf spirit that's coming up in you. It's like you're taking on your path as you're walking, as you're running, as you're caressing yourself, as you're watching the fire, as you're looking at cloud beings and the star world, the star nations. I see that you are alchemically working with turning the knowledge into wisdom. Love that. Wolf is different than dog, although all dogs, as they say in their DNA, emerge from the wolf spirit. The wolf is teacher, where the dog is absolute loyalty. So are you finding a loyal teacher? Are you being loyal to the teachers that you have unlocked? Do you feel like that you need to expand your knowledge to work with the teacher or work with an insight mentor, or and find that category, move into yourself as what you can teach and what you can learn, and make that synonymous. Like, although I could teach that, I'm always learning, and that's exciting. So who would I see as my soul teacher? And it might be a certain subject. It may not be. It might be that you want to release some kind of paranormal trauma. It might be that you want to learn more about herbs or Reiki. But there's something that I feel that you might have been sitting on the fence with, and maybe it's because you know people like in your sister tribe and all that already do that. That may be a sisterhood of something that's beginning to open that envelope for you. But your tarot card is the 2 of Swords. And the swords have to do with air signs, the Libra, Gemini, Aquarian parts of our chart. And only the Justice card and the 2 of Swords are blindfolded in the traditional tarot teachings. And she's sitting on a concrete bench. The ocean is very calm. The tide is low, and it's very calm, so there's no ripping emotions that are coming up right now. She's blindfolded, and she's crossed the swords across her body. So like she's got, the left hand putting the sword on her right shoulder. So this means that the blindfold, and it's a crescent moon, by the way, if that matters soon. And when you watch your moon phases, your power cycle is the crescent moon. And she's ready to see within. So with that Capricorn and that Scorpio in your chart, now that you're coming in, like the Capricorn part of it is now seated for the year of 2020. And this lunar opening, this new moon is Aquarius. So you're now moving into a clearer vision, clairvoyance, clear vision, the clairs type of a thing. I feel you're coming into with that Scorpio and the Aquarius triggering right there. I feel like that you can now really see the dust settle and get some very concise messages. I see you going into a cycle of learning, messages coming and you really being able to, people get messages and they can't hear the message. They're just not evolved to it yet. They're too much in their own head or their own crap, okay? But I feel like you're ready to get the message and hear it, and that's a win-win. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. I've been calling in clarity a lot, so I'm very happy to hear that.
The Claires have arrived.
Thank you.
On a magic carpet. Here comes all the Claires.
Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Thank you so much for the work that y'all do.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for honoring it.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you, dear.
All right. Let's see. We got a line open if you want to call in. 1-800-5880. Never mind. 335. As soon as it's like you got to be quick, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Looks like a 916 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Oh, hey, hiya.
Hiya.
I'm
How are
Luna
you?
from Sacramento.
What'd you say your name was?
I'm Luna from Sacramento.
Luna. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just wondering if Mary can pick me a card.
I will, Luna. I love that name. You got number 33. That's another master number. And where 11 is master teacher and 22 is the master builder, master architect, 33 connects up with, which not a lot of people talk about or study, but it connects up with the 9th chakra. And it has a lot to do with how the silver cord and the golden light form like a helix, kind of like Neo and Morpheus in the Matrix. And horse spirit is, so when you think about horse spirit and you're taking it to a higher level, then it's the legend and myths of the constellation Pegasus and the unicorn and all these kind of things that go back in time with and some of the artistic stories, like when you go to the Arabian Nights, the flying horse is a black Frisian with wings. So not all Pegasus are white. So there's something to do with horse medicine and horse spirit, which is about you trusting yourself of where you need to maintain your independent spirit and where you can be involved with a lot of people or a very significant intimate relationship, but it goes back to thine own self be true. Like you can't be their popsicle and lose who you need to be with your own identity. The tongue licking's not that good. You've got to be able to be that horse spirit, that the freedom rider, type of a thing. So when you get horse, think about Pony Express and horsepower. It has a lot to do with you're moving on. There's something to do with you that the first 3 months of this year, you're really going to be taking charge, galloping, moving forward. So it's got to do with, and I think about the other horses that like to dance, the Lipizan stallions, like over in Austria. So there's something about, the more artistic ballerina type flying and unicorns and mystical horses. Do you relate to horse as a medicine totem at all?
Not really, but I mean,
are you scared of horses? Have you ridden?
I'm relating. Oh no, I'm not scared. I've ridden horses before as a kid and stuff, but I haven't really had any connection with horses before. But I do have the connection with the creative aspect and stuff.
May I suggest to you? Did I just hear you say that you've ridden horses back in your childhood? Like that was a part of your childhood? And you weren't scared of them, like you
special pony rides.
Okay, so I'm going to suggest that in your meditations, in your prayers or meditations, I want you, if you were a horse, this is one of the things I walk my clients through. If you were a horse, since that came up for you, part of your homework, soul work, is if I were to pick and shapeshift into a horse in a meditation, like go into a meditation and say, okay, show me, I'm Luna, and I'm Luna the horse now. Beloved guides, show me as I just listen to this music and the frequencies. And if I were a horse, how do I look? How do I show up? Notice the color, the size. Is it a small horse, a big horse? Is it one of those little ponies? Because that horse will become the shaman teacher in your meditation. It will bring you its message. So call for that. I mean, I've just opened the door for you. I've just turned the key to unlock you to be able to get messages from the medicine totem of the horse. And I mean, there's even what they call medicine horses. When I traveled all over Taos and Santa Fe and New Mexico and went to the Taos Pueblo and the Hopi reservations, I learned then that in their artwork, in the Western tribes of the First Nations, that they have what they call medicine horses rather than just kachinas, which is one of the names of their deities and gods out there and what they represent. And the medicine horse actually brings you whatever the elixir, the spirit medicine, whatever you need in your dreams or your meditations or your prayers of what needs to be, in your opinion, corrected in your life at this time. So if there's some icky, sticky stuff you've been going through, the horse is wanting to bring that to you. The saddlebags actually have the medicine for you. So I would look at even herbs that have, like horsetail is an herb that helps your hair grow thicker. Horse chestnut helps the veins and the arteries. So look into, just kind of take that word and play with it.
All right.
It's definitely going to bloom with you. It's going to bloom on into March with you. So play around with that on the internet. Ask for the horse to show up in your dreams or your meditations, and be patient with it. It might take until the full moon of February 9th, but it's soon. That horse is right there wanting to talk to you. And I want you to see what horse you would be. If you slipped into a skin disguise in dreams and you wanted to astral travel or travel in the etheric realms as a horse, not as you look as a human, that's like your shield, your protection. Slip into that horse body and go ride that skin for a while in your meditations or your dreams and see where it takes you.
Interesting.
How about
All
that?
Right. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Me and my mom love you guys.
Oh, wow.
Go take a ride.
Call, Luna. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too. Good night.
Cowboy up, cowgirl up.
All right, we'll take this one, then we'll take our break. Looks like 713 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
Jackie from Houston.
Hi, Jackie. You got a question for Mary?
How are y'all?
Good.
Yes. I wanted to see what the year looked like for me. I'm a Scorpio, 11/11/63.
God, what a great birthday, 11/11. So here she is with the 22. When you add the 11/11 together, and this year is 2020, which is a 22. So quite obviously, the signs and the omens speak to you that you've not had a year like this for 22 years. So let's look at the obvious. I want you to go back 4 years ago, and I want you to go back 22 years ago from this year. So that's math that you can start doodling and scribbling with later. What I got for you is the squirrel spirit. So squirrels are very active in autumn, very active in autumn. They're especially active in September in the northern hemisphere because they're starting to pick up what they call the mash on the ground. The oak trees dropping the acorns, and there's all kinds of little things, that they're beginning to gather and put away. So squirrel is like a prepper type of totem. It's like, I'm going to go, like I've watched it in action, like throw a whole bag of roasted peanuts out, and they'll grab one and eat it, and like they pray before they eat it. They like hold it. They're so excited, but then they take it and they start burying it in the ground. They carry it up in the tree. They're shoving it down in their nest. And then sometimes they come back and dig it up. They're so excited and eat it. So squirrel spirit is saying, this year, the sky's the limit. This is the year to believe in yourself and not wait anymore. This is the year for you to jump from tree to tree and, look at all the harvest and the bounty that you have and say, I really don't have lack, and so I can't focus on lack. And your tarot card is a 3. It's the Empress, which is ruled by Venus. So this starts to pull up your 12th house. If you're the 11/11 Scorpio, the sign before Scorpio is Libra, which is why Scorpios can be so reticent to really open up and let that vulnerability come out in a quick way, in a fashioning of an intimate relationship. Like they may participate with mental fantasies, they may participate with physical dynamics of the sex, because a Scorpio knows that doesn't lock them in. Like they can entertain somebody else and thrill somebody else sexually or intellectually and even psychologically. They know they can play. They know they can be the spider or the web. But to really engage a Scorpio, they have to have that ability to know that they're, like a Gemini's got to be intellectually compatible, a Scorpio's got to be psychologically compatible. Like they have to know that they're feeling uplifted psychologically with another person in business or especially in their intimate life. So the Empress here tells me in the third month of this year, March, and in September, and I can't, of course, time limit to do a whole year reading. That's like too big of a question. But I'm going to tell you that March, obviously the 3, is something about you really taking the dream and the egg hatches. And I feel like when you get to that spring equinox, that Easter, Passover, spring equinox time, it's a launch pad for you.
Okay. And you
So
have a website?
I do.
Okay.
She'll spell it for you.
Yeah, it's Mary Dusina, MaryDusina, MaryDusina.com.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. It's always nice to talk to a Scorpio that's a seeker. I appreciate that. I'm a Halloween Scorpio, so I appreciate you, girlfriend.
All righty, thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you for calling.
Well then, interesting. All right, we've getting lots of water signs tonight, right? Water and air. Huh? No fire.
And Earth with our we had Capricorn and Cancer too.
Am I the only fire sign up in here, or what's going on? We got to take our break though. But we'll be right back.
Joe wants the fire sign.
Let's get some fire signs up in here. I mean, seriously, what's going on?
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Beech Nuts Mashed and Strained Chewing Tobacco for babies who just can't wait to grow up to be cowboys.
Joseph Roop is your host. Pull back the blinds and uncover the truth. This is Lighting the Void Radio.
You're listening to The Fringe FM.
Somewhere between abnormal and paranormal, there's a show called Into the Paranormal. I'm Jeremy Scott. Hear me live Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern on the Fringe FM.
Hey, I'm J.M. DeBoard, and when I want to talk about dreams, I look up my man Joe Root and his show, Lighting the Void.
The Fringe FM isn't just a radio station. We also provide services for all your audio production needs. If you're interested in live radio or pre-recorded podcasts, we're here to help. We even do audio enhancements and voiceovers if needed. If you want to do a podcast or live radio show and even want the option to syndicate on terrestrial radio, from simple audio file enhancement to live production and call screening, we have you covered. We have worked with some of the best professionals in the business in order to provide coaching instruction for content creation, show structure, and more. Contact The Fringe Digital Media for more at info@thefringe.fm. That's info@thefringe.fm. Or call 501-777-5631 for a consultation.
Listen, I want to tell you about G.I. Joy from GetTheTea.com. It's the best alchemical concoction of goodies for your stomach and digestive system I can recommend, and that's all based on my experience. Packed with colostrum, acidophilus, aloe, peppermint, and turmeric. If you do your own research, then you know this is the bee's knees for the stomach and digestion. Now, due to Big Brother's ears and the eye in the sky, you know I can't go into the details about what it helped me with. All I can say is I got relief. It's non-GMO, no fillers, no preservatives, manufactured right here in the US of A, and delivered to you by the only people who stay on top of the game and are out in front. Go grab a bottle of G.I. Joy at GetTheTea.com and see what all the fuss is about. Again, that's GetTheTea.com. We all have that story to tell in our lives. The winds were howling, the ground shook, you could hear rushing water, and then history repeats itself. When there's no power, refrigeration fails, stores with their shelves stripped bare, ATMs can't operate, deliveries stop. Then what? These events can last days or weeks. You need a plan. In statements made during recent interviews, FEMA Administrator Brock Long has repeatedly urged all Americans to understand three truths. FEMA is broke, the system is broken. If this is the new normal, Americans can't rely on federal cavalry when disaster strikes. Don't get caught out in the elements empty-handed. Prepare with us by going to preparewiththefringe.com and get your 2-week food supply. 92 servings, 8 food varieties with 25-year shelf life. Normally $137, now only $75. Or get a month's supply, normally $247, now only $147, shipped in one business day. Just go to preparewiththefringe.com or call 888-440-7931. That's 888-440-7931. Get this great offer and be prepared while it lasts.
Hi,
this is Sammy. Join us in the Deep South as we're lighting the void with Joe Roop on the Fringe FM.
Hey Fringe FM listeners, did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or no Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of the Fringe FM by calling 701-719-3971. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. Saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call 701-719-3971. That's 701-719-3971. Listen to the Fringe FM on any phone, anytime, anywhere.
Right, me old Chinas. I know it's an ad break, but before you lot shoot off and make yourself a cup of Rosie Lee or whatever else it is you're going to sling down your Gregory Peck, you need to listen to me babble. If, like me, you found your way to Lighting the Void via a downloadable podcast, you might want to take a butcher's at the Fringe FM Wind and Kite. You won't Adam and Eve how many other shows there are or what they rabbit on about. Ancient history, conspiracy, the consciousness, the esoteric, the occult, metaphysics, parapolitical, ufology, technology and spirituality, to name but a few. They got featured hosts like Ryan Gable, Jeremy Scott, Alex Exum, Tim Doyle, Cortana and Gigi, Susanna Ross, the Reverend John Polk, Michael Deacon and J.D. Lewis. You might find yourself listening to the thoughts and theories of the author of the fish you just finished reading. Or you could pick up the dog and bone, call in and tell everyone your own beliefs or experiences. So do me a favour, before you put on the Ansel or crack open a bottle of vino or roll a joint, go to the Fringe FM and see what you're missing.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Day Old Florists, featuring a fine selection of slightly used flowers. Ed's, when you care enough to send the very cheapest.
To call Joe, pick up the phone, dial 1-800-588-0335, toll free from the United States or Canada.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we are back with Mary Dusina. You guys, you can call. We got one line open, so call in. It's 1-800-588-0335. You know what? I'm gonna admit something right here. I forgot. This is bad, Mary, but I forgot what order the callers were in. So, but I know kind of which order they're in. So you guys forgive me.
Trust your intuition, Joe. Maybe spirits. Maybe spirits. Well, people know you don't want to do that on purpose. Trust. Take a breath. It's Aquarius. Take a breath, and let your intuition guide you.
Okay, I got it. I think I remember now. All right, 479 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, this is Katrina.
What's up, Katrina?
Oh, not too
Is this
much.
is this my
favorite people?
Favorite?
Is
yeah.
this my pink Fey Queen? Is this my pink Fey Queen?
It is. I'm purple right now, but yes.
Oh, even better. Even better. She's getting into the violet flame. She's the fire, and she lets people get a hint by looking at her violet hair.
Yeah, there you go. That's for sure.
All right, so guess what I got for you? Do I remember right that you're Virgo? You're Virgo solar?
I am a Virgo. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I think you told me that. I don't think that's psychic. I think that's something that you told me or that I know. I don't take credit unless it's just bam type of psychic thing. I think that I had a knowing about that previously. So what you got is the 8 of Wands. Now Joe was calling for more fire signs.
Fire.
But the 8 of Wands, the suit of Wands or clubs and regular playing cards bring the element of fire. And so, because the wands, the way I learned it, I'm not saying I'm the end-all, be-all, but it's just the way I work, folks. I'm not saying you have to do it this way. But the 8 is the infinity. And so it's blessing you as it goes out, how you've been blessing amidst any frustrations or losses or gains that you've had as you've been able to work through that loop, the figure 8 on its side, the 8 on its side, is now coming back to you. I don't know if you caught the first hour, but I kept saying I keep feeling the theme of this Aquarian lunation and our Chinese Lunar New Year, the beginning of the Lunar New Year, is karmic kisses or kicks. So certainly for you, there's no need for you to kick yourself, and have a little sharp edge of being ready to kick somebody back if they get too close to you and you've not done your proper Virgo assessment of their aura or their intentions or their energies. But this 8 of Wands literally means the arrows of love. The arrows of love. And, when we talk about a 4 year, 4 plus 4 is 8. So the 4, the 13, the 8, the 22, the 31, these are all monthly dates that add up to the 4. And so you've got the 8, which is 4 twice. So I feel like now that usually the season of the wands is associated in a lot of teachings with autumn. However, we're at the beginning of a year. So I feel the first fire sign of this year, like right now we've got Mars in Sagittarius until February 17th. Mars is in fire. Our quest for fire is in fire. Mars likes being in the fire signs. It likes Aries. It likes Sagittarius. It likes Leo. It gets a little rowdy at times. We have to watch not going too much to the extremes in fun or pleasure. But Mars and Sagittarius, it's on a vision quest. I love Mars and Sagittarius.
Is there such thing as too much fun or too much pleasure, though? Seriously?
Yeah, I think if pleasure takes you away from your livelihood and your work and you're getting drained with too much alcohol, too much pot, too much. Yeah. I mean, I think when it gets into an addictive mode that you just really don't want to work or don't want to fix the kid dinner or whatever, that you're getting too self-entitled with it.
Okay,
that's what
right.
I mean by
I don't want to draw you off her reading, though. I was just wondering.
No, it's all applicable. You wouldn't have asked it if it wasn't something that Katrina wants to orbit. She's a savvy girl. So with the 8, it's saying to you that your love life is going to expand, whether or not your Virgo cynic wants to invite that in right now. I'm telling you, what's in the cards, so to speak, is that love's going to come a-knocking. And your animal card, you must be going to the ocean. Your animal card must be going to, you must be going by the ocean, the saltwater soon, because it's the sandpiper bird. And anything that comes up of the air and sea element right now with Aquarius, because the main totem for Aquarius is dragonfly. So the ocean bird, the sandpipers, they can fly, but they're the ones that the kiwis and the sandpipers like to zoom in that foam, the ocean foam. And so this is telling you to be playful. And I know that part of you. You really come alive in friendships and parties and concerts and meditation circles and hikes and when you're in love, you want that pixie face spirit of being playful. That's really the authentic you. It's just like, let's play. You don't want it to be heavy. You don't.
That is definitely
you want to have,
me, Mary. Nope.
You want to have playful
Another
sex.
good
You want to have
That's
playful.
fun.
You want to have playful conversation. You recognize if you see people in public or you're waiting on people in any capacity with your job, be it banking or serving them up a meal or whatever. It's like that a lot of people are walking around with a bag of sadness or frustration, and you try to be that little. It's kind of like a pretty clown, and I mean that as a compliment, or a pretty little sprite, or a little, it's like Tinkerbell. You're like Tinkerbell. It's like Tinkerbell comes up with a little wand and wants to bonk it with the little stars and just say, can I just, it's like you don't say it, but it's almost like your eyes dance, and it's like, can I give you a moment of happiness here? Can we like laugh? And to you, that's an introduction. If somebody can make you laugh, and if somebody can play with you, and I mean play like, you might be going to McDonald's, or you might be going, just to the grocery store, but you're laughing in the car and you're playing. Life can be so serious, and that's one of my criteria. They got to be generous, and they better make me laugh. It's uplifting, or like, you know what, I know how to do that for myself, so bye. Yeah. So there's a revolving door there. It's like, I know how to bring that to the table, and I know how valuable that is. So that's one of your first relationship criteria. It's like, I don't want to be your mama. I don't want to be your daddy, and I sure as hell don't want to be your counselor therapist. Fix your crap and come back and let's play. Style my hair, breathe on my neck. Yeah, get going.
Damn it, man.
Joe, that's rich right there. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, my goodness. Like,
Oh, my.
As we say in the South, Katrina,
just-
they laugh.
Yeah. Well, there's a good fire reading there for you. And that's what I was looking
right.
for.
There you go.
Yeah, she can handle it. She can handle the fire. She can handle it. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks for
Oh,
calling
yeah,
in.
let's dance. Yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
We got her lit up. She's lit up, Joe. She's lit up.
Yeah,
See
have a
you,
good
Violet.
night. Behave yourself. All right.
I'm gonna call her the she's the Violet Vixen right now. She's the Vixen.
That's right. I got a feeling she ain't going to behave. Well, whatever you do, just make sure you get away with it. How about that? There you go.
Right. Pastor Joe.
Oh, who, me?
Call Joe.
Nah.
Call Joe and make him laugh. That's what. Yeah. Serve Joe up a cup of laughter.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
Sure, I'll talk to you.
Bye, Katrina.
Okay,
Thanks,
y'all
Katrina.
You bye.
Thanks, honey.
Man,
Thank
you put
you,
the
honey.
fire on it right there, didn't you? That was some real
right.
fire. All right. So
She can handle it. She
let's
can handle it.
see. 620 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are you speaking with?
This is Marshall.
What's up, Marshall? You got a question for Mary?
Yeah, I sure do. I had a really interesting person come into my life here lately, and a lot of good vibes, a lot of good energies coming off this person, and just kind of want to know what kind of card you can pull to show me some direction.
Wow, Marshall. Number one, I like your name. It's got a nice, rolls off the tongue nice, and it's just.
Thank you
it's
very
a
much.
Good, it's a good. Whatever the story is by that name, I like it. It's got power to it. Listen to this. I pulled the star card for you, which we talked about in the first hour. Is the card for Aquarius and that electricity of, the electricity of the bread of heaven, the manna from heaven. So this is no ordinary meetup that you just had. And the other card that fell out right next to that, which is, listen, even with my clients, I don't get the magician card a lot. It's just a rare card to come up. Right next to that was the magician. So I'm going to venture to say you're the number one card, the magician, and this person that came into your life is carrying the number 17 energies, which is another vibration of 8, the infinity. And I feel like there's a lot of electricity here. There's a lot of electricity. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I feel familiar with this person. I feel like we've walked a path before, and it's just like, I don't know how I know them. It may not be common sense or logic in this world, but in my soul and in my spirit self, it's just like I recognize them. Like you already know how valuable this is.
Yeah.
And I believe it's
a strange attraction.
But it's bohemian, but it is a song. It's like you two are actually the lyrics that are finding their place in which verse is going to go first. And then right now the two of you are working on the chorus. You're working on the part of the song that's crescendo, that brings you up. And I feel a real nice investment, deeper turning point that's coming like right around St. Patrick's Day, like the Ides of March, St. Patrick's Day. I feel like that's where you guys have another like Shazam type of moment. It's like, this is interesting. This is a fated, there's something about this that has a nice, all right, I'll just give you exactly what Spirit said to me. Spirit said, this is a destiny, ! And I don't know what all that means, but I just know it's powerful.
Well, I'll just tell you this much. I've never felt this energy from no one ever in my entire life. Ever.
Well, you got to be
That would
careful with
catch
those
my
two.
attention.
I'm just telling you. To take it in and then just be careful.
It's a positive. It's a positive energy. It's not that
yeah.
energy that you put off. It's a very positive energy.
Well, there's energy vampires.
Strong.
There's energy vampires, and then there's like energy avatars. And when we meet an avatar type of combination, then it's like the power. It always reminds me of that. And I heard they're going to make another one, another Matrix and another Avatar. It reminds me, and I forget her name, but that really cool blue character woman and the guy that she had like a blue character boyfriend over in her world, in the Avatar world. But she knew that although they were different and bohemian, that guy that was like paralyzed in the Earth world, but when he came to the Avatar world, he had his legs. And I feel like that it's like that. It's like you guys are almost like interspecies in a sense. You come from way different worlds and way different types of whatevers, But I feel it's like desert and mountain lush waterfall. But I feel like that what I'm seeing is that you complement each other. Like you have easily what they need and they have easily what you need, but you both already know that you're not going to go down the path of being too needy, if that makes sense. That's the way they're saying it. It's a destiny ! I feel like it's a karmic kiss.
Yep,
it's a karmic
easy.
reward. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's it.
For sure.
You know how rare easy relationships are? Yeah. Signature.
Yeah.
Soul
tell me
signature.
about it. It's
Yep.
very rare.
Good for you. You know what,
inundated.
Marshall? Congratulations. You know, we don't have to put an ending on the story. We don't have to say, "Oh, I hope you get married," or "I hope you move in together." It's just like I just want to say to you, congratulations.
They write themselves, don't they?
Yeah. It's like who are we inviting into our storybook, and then all of a sudden we get that fated kiss or that it's just like I call it kismet. Kismet. It's kismet. It's fate, and fate saying to you know what, you've been doing really good, and you've been really working on the better version of yourself. So watch how this arrives something in your life, and it's just like ooh, medicine, yay! And you don't get drained, and you're not draining them, and you can break apart and do what you need to do, and they go do their world, and you go do your world, and I define it as an immortal effect. Because you're not even invested in how it's going to turn out, because you know that it's timeless, birthless, deathless, and that you're going to be immortally transformed from the very experience of coming together. And that in and of itself is a rare gem.
All right, we got to get to our next caller. Thanks for your call, Marshall, and congrats on that,
Marshall.
man. Good stuff, brother. All right, so we got 620, another 620 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with? Hello.
This is Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
Brittany Krieger calling from South Central Kansas.
Kansas.
Mary, I guess my biggest question. Yeah, we got a lot of Kansas people tonight. I'm recognizing the 6-0 area code, but my biggest question is life for me. Like the outside life is great. Everything's good. Husband's good. Life's good. Work's good. But I'm not Scorpio right now who's very stuck on the inside. Like I don't know who. I feel very lost.
Wow. And everything in your external world is like a kiss in your life. Like you're not blaming marriage. You're not blaming job.
I should be happy. Yeah.
Okay. There's a disturbance in your force. Is what you're saying to me. There's a disturbance in your inner world. All right. Answer me quickly. Don't think about this. And what's the first thing that comes to your mind back in your little storybook, child book days when you were writing your script and you were busy being the actress, not the director at that time, because we're busy being little kids. When's the last time and what first comes to your memory of when you felt lost, even though it was a pretty day and you were playing with your toys or whatever? What happened? Don't think it. Let it come.
Probably when I found out that when my mom, finding out that.
No, let it happen. No, let it come up. I don't want you to block that. Let it come up. When my mom.
She's saying it. Go ahead.
Did drugs.
Okay.
I found out that my family did drugs, and my family was involved in drugs. My mom being the major influence in my life, finding out that she was a part of it.
Breathe in. Breathe in. Did you hear your whole voice shake? Did you feel the earthquake and the tremble of that? So. Yeah. That's good. That's good. What you're doing right now, that's not weakness, honey. That's power. That's your guides and your angels letting you get through to Joe on Joe's network on this night when I come on before the new moon to give you that sacred release, and that it's okay for you to have a knowing that you came into a karmic quagmire, and it was shocking, and it was disappointing, and it was scary clown, and it was survival mode, fight or flight, when you had to find out that, oh my God, the people that are supposed to be like my guardians and my protectors and my wolf pack and my guide are like all over the place, and oh my God, my matriarchal queen is a pack leader.
Yeah, I've been there too, so I know exactly what that feels like, and you feel kind of lost.
Okay, Spirit, yeah, but Spirit has a plan for you. So see, the way you started out your call is almost like you were kind of fascinatingly confused about the fact of everything's good, but I feel lost on the inside. And like I've heard Joe talk about, when he's gone through different things with business or travels or whatever. I've heard Joe declare, because he does that. He declares to his tribe here, I found out some things about me that I'm going to dive in, and I'm going to, it's like I want you to be like an archaeologist. So we found out you went back to your ancient ruins, and you dug up a buried object. You dug up. It's ultimately going to be a buried treasure, because when you can dig it up and gently, they have that little brush, and they brush off the sands of time. It's buried in the sand over there. A lot of it comes up in Egypt and over in the deserts over there. And you brush it off, and you kind of look at it, and you're like, okay, this is going to go in a museum, because this thing from the sands of times that might have ancestral curses or poisons or trauma-based troubles around it, I'm going to let that go, even though it was tough and it hit me way too young in my life to have to micromanage then. So when you were that age then, there was no older you to analyze this and figure it out, know to go to a therapist, know to talk to a clairvoyant, any of that, call into any of that, get an oracle card. You didn't know it. It was just you had to go through it raw and real. But now you are the adult mother to your inner child. You are the high priestess. You are a magician. You are the alchemist that says to her, you will never, ever be abandoned again. And look at what you've created. You didn't get that in your family of origin, but you have manifested a good marriage. You're saying everything in your external world is good. And I would say to you, perhaps that old medicine, that old trauma is trying to say to you, you can't relax. You can't believe in it. The boogeyman's coming. I can hear it.
I've tried so hard.
It's like the inner
create a life that
so
was
just,
not what I grew up as.
Do you realize how powerful that is? That's like beautiful music to my ears. I created a life. Look what you've accomplished. I created a life that I didn't grow up with. So I need you to kind of pat yourself on both shoulders, because you had to shoulder a lot of heavy karma early on. But your tarot card, just to finish up, because you'd do really well with some, whether it's me or anybody else, you would do really well with some intuitive navigations to where someone can point you to some truths to be able to get that out of there all the way. You're doing great, though. I mean, I love that you broke right into it. That's just, applause. You got the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is the Two of Diamonds in regular cards. Pentacles have to do with our tangible, touch it, kiss it, love it, hug it, and it likes to come back through your door because it feels safe. Here's what you give in love. You give loyalty and safety, and you declare what works and what doesn't work for you because you grew from all that. And the Two of Pentacles is a balance. It's a juggler that has a big O infinity symbol, and there's the two diamonds or the two coins are in between the two separate halves of the infinity symbol, but the infinity, what you give out, comes back to you. So you really are a good manifester. Did you know that about yourself?
No.
Look what you made out of it. It's like an oyster takes a pearl. An oyster takes an irritation. An oyster takes an irritation. It's constantly irritated, and it creates a pearl. So you have some pearls of wisdom that have brought you into more of a seaside, S-E-E, a seaside, and you're able to live in the sea, S-E-E, shore of what you've created in your life. I'd like to see you do, short form, I'd like to see you do some meditations quietly with yourself so that you can be vulnerable and open and not have to worry about anything, and just, sit outside, let nature be involved, and just put on something on YouTube or something if you don't work with somebody, and just let it all go. Just, Aquarius is about what you want to have released from you, give it wings, watch it fly away, and then kiss that inner child that you've got and say to her, you'll never be alone again.
There you go.
I can do that. Thank you very much, Mary.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope, yeah, so that's really cool. Because I know you.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff that moves me when people are willing to be vulnerable. When you're willing to be vulnerable, that's when you make your biggest breakthroughs. That's when you find your biggest truth as well, too. So,
big medicine. It's big medicine, Joe. It's big medicine. And thank you for creating a network to where people feel safe enough to call late in the night instead of the boogeyman bothering them and them having those quiet, tear-stained pillows things that are bothering them, got them all twisted up, got their psychic knots and their emotional cords and vice versa. Thank you for the hard work that you do to create this platform for people to be able to call, use a fake name, whatever, and just get a little bit of that release that they need to have.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. 619 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, this is Angel. Hi, Joe. Hi,
Hey,
Mary.
Angel.
Hi, Angel. How are you, darling?
Hi. I'm doing good. I'm moving soon off of this mountain that's more shrubberies to another mountain that's more pine trees and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The whispering
so
pines. The whispering pines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a question for Mary, Angel?
I just wanted to pull card for me. I feel like I'm the caterpillar that's shedding its skin and turning into this butterfly because I'm shedding a lot of things old.
Guess what card you got?
Mountain for 17 years. What card did I get?
Guess what card you got? You got the moth. You got the moth spirit, and you and I both know moths go through the caterpillar phase too. You know, but guess what?
Yeah.
Moths are more nocturnal. Butterflies are during the day. So the moth spirit is like, you are right. You are correct. The moth spirit card, it's number 39. So think about the month of March and September this year. Third month of the year, March. Ninth month of the year, September. And the signs of Pisces and Virgo swirling around your birth chart. But the moth spirit is, there's something about you being more nocturnal and very active in the night, like you might enjoy packing up more at night and doing all your stuff during the day. Some people pack during the day and, you know, do stuff at night. And I feel like you are shedding layers. But it's what people forget is that whether it's a butterfly or a moth, you go from being earthbound only as the caterpillar, and then you transform and go through a complete metamorphic epiphany in your life, a chemical rearrangement, and you actually shape shift into a creature that can either land on earth flowers or go to a light outside that people burn on their house like the moths like to do. But you're able to be airborne, Aquarius, air sign, airborne instead of just limited to be a crawler. You know, you're not just a crawler anymore. So I feel an acceleration for you this year. And I feel like the acceleration of everything, whether you're actually moved by March or settled in by March or not, it's not the point. That the creature teacher totem that you've got is that you're taking flight, that you're getting lighter. I mean, you're not as heavy as a caterpillar. You know, you can fly, so you're able to like lift off. So this is the first 6 months of this year is a launch for you. Like you got it going on, and your medicine is calling it forth and moving forward. March 4th.
Yeah, that's about because I should be out of here and everything that I need to take care of by the end of February. You know, at the beginning of March is where I should be moved. So.
And that's Pisces. And that's Pisces.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you for your call, Angel. Thanks for letting us, and it's been a while too, so thanks for checking in. I hope your move goes well.
Yeah.
It will. We're going to send you some. We're going to send you some mojo.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a good one. Thank you for calling.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on down the line here. Boy. All right. Let's see what we got. Yep. 404 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. 404. Who are we speaking with?
Good evening to both of you. This is Jose from Georgia.
What's up, Jose?
And I've overcome my nervousness, so I'm good.
All right, cool. You got a question for Mary?
Sure. How's my outlook for this year of 2020?
The card that fell out for you is the Ten of Pentacles, and this has got to do with inheritance, ancestral blessings, like the gifts and the talents of your family line, like how your family, what they've been good at or skilled in. Things that you can look back and see, yeah, that's definitely something my family has a talent for, and whether you do it or not, it's just, it has to do with increase. Like the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, which are the 9 and 10 of diamonds, have to do with actual financial increase. So it looks to me like the first part of this year is starting off with work, financial, worldly blessings, and some good news coming in around your family. Has that happened yet?
Not that I know of.
Well, that's the card that flew right out. So I would look at what it is that you deem as the authority in your family line that you respect. It can have to do with a home that you may be actually upgrading. As far as, like you said, you're from Georgia, it may be that there's some blessings coming around you with where you live. Listen, this card comes up when people go buy $1, $2 lottery scratch and sniff ticket. I call them. You just pop in when you're getting gas and say, listen, I'm going to buy $1 ticket, or I'll take $2 worth of tickets, and it's just those little scratch-off things. With this card, I'm not saying get attached to the outcome, but I'm saying with this card, and it's the fact that it's the new moon, if you've got just, $1, just limit yourself and say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm going to go do a quick pick for $1 this week. I'm going to do a scratch-off ticket for $1 the next week. Like, don't even try to pick the numbers. Just let the fates allow if that's supposed to be. But somehow you've got some good news coming in before April about a job increase, a raise, a promotion, a different department, something else that you'll do that's going to make you feel on the increase or blessed both emotionally and creatively and financially, because this is the earth element, and it has to do, like, for example, if you had a car that you wanted to trade in, you'd get a better value for something that you got, or if you want to, have a roommate and free up some money, or if you get to move or something. There's something in this year that takes you to a very nice level of your lifestyle, your living comforts. There's a blessing coming in that has to do with home and hearth and family. That's very strong, very strong. And just quickly, your creature teacher card has to do with using your mind wisely. You got the flamingo spirit creature, and again, we have a bird, and you've got that salmony, pinky kind of peachy, orangey color coming up, and it's like embracing and trusting that in-between time. It's like before we have dawn, the sky's got to crack with the light. Before we have twilight, the sun's got to go down at sunset. So what they call in magic is the tween times, pre-dawn and pre-twilight. These are your best times to do your prayers, your rituals, your ceremonies, your meditations, for you to be able to just not always meditate to ask, but meditate to listen, to see what is your feelings say to you. What does your inside world and your angel guides want to convey to you? So I feel like it's about listening now, rather than people that meditate or pray saying, oh, God, give me this, or I'd like this, or why can't this be? No, just shut up and listen, because I feel like that there's actually going to be some nice spirit broadcasting coming forth to you, that spirit has a lot to show you and say to you. And if you'll just sit down and quiet your external world, you'll start to get a lot of answers. That's what I see.
How's that for you, Jose? That work for you?
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Man of little words, but hey.
Well, call us back and let us know.
Let us know
make
what's
sure
up.
you call. Yeah. Make sure you call Joe back before April and let us know how it's going, because I like to keep a nice monitor on the progress of that.
Okay.
All right, Jose. Thanks for your call, brother. Okay, all right. We're going to go to, looks like 503 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, guys. This is Brett.
Hi, Brett. What's on your mind? Or do you have a question for Mary?
I just kind of wanted to get a general pull tonight. I haven't spoken to you guys since I was back in Arkansas last year, and I was up in Yellville then. I'm back in Washington State for the winter, and a lot of crazy stuff going on. We had a death in the family, and I've kind of found myself stuck here, and I have an opportunity to head back to Arkansas this coming week or stay here through the winter, and I'm just kind of torn on which direction to go. So I just haven't talked to y'all for a while, and I love your show, and I take to heart everything I hear, even if it's not for me.
Oh, how nice. Well, you're smart. That's smart, because I told Joe, even the commercials that I listen to, it's all connected. And when people call in with questions, I take that into myself as well. It's like, okay, This may be just like you said, this may be a signature, developmental question for you too. The themes, the messages that come forth in the questions, not so much what I say, but what people are calling in wanting to know about, or the category or theme, I feel relates to Joe and I and people that are listening quietly. You can get these messages without you even having to call in, although I love that you call in. So, I mean, it's all connected. The card that I got for you is the Six of Cups, and that does relate to, if you have a choice, that does relate to taking a journey back to a past harbor, back to a familiar harbor, a past residence, an area that you've once lived in that's familiar. So from what I hear from you, that would be Arkansas, wouldn't it?
No. Well, I'm originally from Astoria, Oregon, which is the mouth of the Columbia River. And I'm up in Goldendale, Washington, up in Columbia Gorge, not far from ECETI, actually. And I'm having, and what you said about the Leos reconciling with parents and sticking with their that applies to me. I'm a Leo, and I'm here with my oldest daughter in their compound up in the gorge, and I haven't been around family for a long time. So Arkansas is a place where I've been living in my van on the road for 2 years, and I came back to tie up things, and we had a death in the family, and I got stuck here. And as often happens, it brings a lot of people close together, but it also tears others apart. And what you said about trying to reconcile without compromising, what I need to do is down there in the harbor on the ocean where I came from, and I don't want to go back because I've already closed the door, but I care about these people, but I can't be involved. And how do you stay connected but yet disassociated? So
you shield yourself. Leos know how to do that. You shield yourself and realize that if you're going to choose by your own volition of your free will, because you love these people, but yet you're not going to be torn apart by their weakness, by their lack of wanting to do their own work. People that don't want to do their own work want to steal your energy. They want to rain on your parade, or they want to lie to you, or they want to, shape shift and do all kinds of things that are wily and snarky because they're playing the avoidance game. It's just like, and we know that underneath all that is trauma or insecurity, for them to trust that they could actually get out of their old patterns or the envelope of the same old, their go-to trauma, their go-to patterns of denial, avoidance, or trying to be overpoweringly in control. So what you're doing is, there was a death in the family, and sometimes those things have to percolate a little bit, so it's like you've arrived, and so your medicine has gone back into at this point in the 2019-2020 cauldron, your medicine has gone in there at this timeline rather than just what was all stirred up, yay or nay, in the past. But what we show as medicine healers, as medicine people, is that even if they want to argue with us or attempt to try to change us or make us think their way, as medicine people, when we hold strong with what we know is the best good medicine of our character and our nature and our words, and by my works she shall know me. Actions speak louder than words. People can blah, blah, blah. They want to. I'm an actions girl. What you do and what you don't do is your energy signature to this bitch. So, you can wail and cry and throw a fit or lie or do whatever you want to do, but actions, for me, equal the formula of choice equals consequence. Bring it or don't bring it. I don't care. I'm going to go by your actions. Your energy speaks for itself. I know how to read it. So your medicine is a stabilizer. So if they start like throwing temper tantrums or trying to start gossip or drama, you're shielded. You put on the night shield and you don't accept, you've got your drama activation shields on, and it's just like maybe you put it, instead of telling people things to do, sometimes it's nice to put it in a question. Sometimes it's just like, is that really what you want to say to me, or is there something else you'd like to say or ask me? Is that really where you want to go with that? Without being sarcastic now. I'm not talking about bite them, because believe me, we can all do that if we have to. It's like right now it's an air sign, and it's your balance sign. You're Leo. Aquarius, you're in your significant other cycle. So right now, you not only learn, as you're in the west part of the medicine wheel. Aquarius is the 6 months away from Leo. So right now, observing these people and wherever they're stuck, like are they still stuck in the past, or are you excited to see a little bit of progress past their need to control it or be dramatic or play the same like little narcissistic games? It's just like, well, homie, don't play that, so it's just like, hey, listen, you got a right to be how you are, and I got a right not to play the game. Care about you,
Right.
but I'm not going to put up with the BS. But here's what heals
that's
them.
only a couple of them. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to finish with this.
I was
And-
just.
One of you got to go. One of you got to let the other one go. Mary, go ahead.
I just want to finish with this, and I do want to hear what he has to say before we hang up. What holds space and what heals these wounded people is that once you've seen what's not good for you and what's not good for them to keep letting the record play, is that you show up very consistently. See, they've had so much trauma and brokenness and fractures that they don't know how to deal with someone that shows up the same all the time, because, see, I become, Joe becomes, we become the reliable personality. What you see is what you get. I'm not playing games with you. I'm not going to play hide and seek with you. I'm the consistent factor in your life. I'm good old reliable. And most people don't have that in their life. So by you doing that, whether you leave or stay, and you're the monitor of that, you know not to get drained, is that they say, you know what? He does what he says he will do. He says what he means. And that's healing.
Cool. Well, thank you. You've clarified that. For the people that I want to avoid, I know how to deal with them. And for the people I'm with, I know where I need to stay. You nailed it tonight perfectly. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you, Leo.
All right.
All right. Hey, Joe, thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Hey, you have a good night. All right. Let's
later.
see. Man, we got to. All right. So we're going to take, I think, 3 more here, and then we'll end this thing up.
Okay.
But we got to go quick. Here's
Okay, we'll roll fast. Okay, we'll roll fast,
708
caller.
area code. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, what's up? This is Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Colorado. Hey.
Hey, Dan in Colorado, you've got a big decision. You've got a big decision. You pulled the 0 or the 22 card, whichever way you want to look at it in the tarot. It's called the Fool, the Jester, and it's the loyal white dog. So there's dog medicine right there. And he's looking up to Spirit, and he's saying, guide my course. I feel like you've already made some strong changes, and that you're settling into some changes that you made within the last 4 months. And I feel like that you're finding your place. I feel like that loyal vibrations are going to seek you out, and you're going to bloom where you're planted. And I feel like that there's something to do, and I just get this really strong, 22 days from now. So whatever, we're at midnight. We're on the next day where I'm at. But whatever time zone you're in, if you're still on the 23rd, go on your calendar and count the 21, 22 days from whatever date it is right now that we're speaking for you, and just kind of circle that without expectation and know that there's going to be a very nice momentum for you. And I like what I'm feeling for your personal life. I feel like that you've kind of been the porcupine, and porcupines don't put their quills up, unless somebody startles them or tries to invade their intimate space too quickly. But I feel like that you're ready to be a beginner alchemist as well as the knowledgeable magician. It's like the king allowing the court jester to get close to him and make him laugh for the day. So I see more amusement and fun without just people wanting to get drunk or high all the time. Or I just feel like that you're going to kind of find your groove zone.
Wow, that was amazing. Let me just squeeze a quick thing. I wanted to call because I called in on the Sagittarius New Moon night, and you pulled. My dilemma back then was I was trying to move to Colorado from Chicago, and was not thinking that it was going to happen. And you pulled the World card, and were very reassuring. So I really wanted to call to let you know that I'm here in Colorado, settled, as you said, exactly. And I was making a decision for a little social gathering tomorrow with some new friends, new people, and I pulled the Fool card for myself earlier in the decision to do this, and then you did too. So that's some magic right there.
There's something else I want you to notice that you've alchemically created too. You went from a vortex named Chicago that begins with a C, and you move to a place that also begins with the C, Colorado. So the phonetic sounding of C is also going to bring you things that you wanted and need to SEE.
Love that. Well, thanks so much. I'll let the other callers get through, but
thank you, Dan.
Yeah, every time I call, there's like this little synchronicity, magic, psychic, good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for your
Thank
call,
you for the
brother.
validation. Thank you
have
for
a
the
good night.
validation.
All right, we're gonna go to let's see, wait, 208 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, this is Abby.
Allie or
Abby? Did you say?
Abby.
Hello? Abby.
Did you say Abby?
Abby. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Abbey
What's
Abbey
your
Road.
question?
Abby.
Abbey Road,
okay.
love it.
Hey, what's up, Abby?
Yeah. Hey. I was just wondering if Spirit has any advice on my kids, or can just I don't know, just see what it has to say about in reference to my kids.
Well, for some reason, I feel a pullback of energy. I feel like there's some kind of restriction or some kind of constriction, or somehow I feel like a flow needs to be happening again. It's like, when you were little kids and we get scared of a snake or something like that, and we go, ah, and we suck in, instead of the normal breathing pattern. Do you have a kid that's going through some type of little difficult dreams, or feeling a little bit scared, or are they going through a phase in their personality that they're trying to find their confidence legs?
Well, the one, he really struggles with falling asleep. He's got sensory issues and possibly on the spectrum, but he will with restless legs. He'll have nightmares quite often, but
okay, because okay, that's what I was saying. Okay, now number one,
restless
nutritionally,
legs
and
always aching.
Okay, I can tell you how to fix that nutritionally, but I'm not a doctor, so I want you to do your own research. So say, I promise I will.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, magnesium, when you have restless legs or your eyelid starts twitching, and you can ask any naturopath and nutritionist, your eyelid starts twitching, the skin on the top of your arm starts, restless legs, or Charlie horses, as we call it in the South. All of a sudden your leg cramps up and you're like, oh, what was that? Okay, that's when those are all classic signs that your body is lacking magnesium. So there's kid formulas of magnesium that are blueberry flavored and strawberry flavored and custard flavored. You can get the liquid stuff and put it on their cereal or their ice or whatever. Just get it into them, make them a smoothie. And even big box stores sell magnesium powder. I like the actual kid formula ones that have it's looks like a shake it up kind of Pepto-Bismol kind of chalky kind of liquid.
Yeah.
But magnesium is not an herb or a vitamin, it's a mineral. And what happens is it sets off neurological stuff, and it sets off and also B12, not the capsule, not the pill, it's too strong for kids, but the little micro dots that you melt under the tongue, or the liquid B12. Remember this, the B vitamins always help the nervous system, and magnesium is the mineral. Magnesium and taurine are minerals that calm a restless animal or a restless child, or women when they have their monthly cramps and all that. Magnesium starts taking that away. So I'd like you to research that. But I feel like that's the main thing that's been kind of making you kind of put your hand on your cheek or scratch your forehead type of a thing. So I'd like to, I'd like to see you. Yeah, I'd like to see you research that and try that, because you can't OD on magnesium. And the only side effect of the magnesium complex, you want to give it to them at night, because it doesn't create a loose bowel, but it'll clean you out no matter who you are. So people that deal with constipation issues, and stress and all that, I mean, magnesium just it's an all-natural muscle relaxer. That's the only reason you have a more complete release. But I feel like if you'll get on that, your whole world starts to get better. And it's inexpensive.
Okay.
It's inexpensive. It's very inexpensive.
Yeah. Great.
So I hope that helps.
That's perfect. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
for
good.
sure. I'll let you know next month.
Please, absolutely. Yeah, give it a month. But I think you'll see results within 10 days. I mean, I worked at a health food store. Magnesium is a fast cure fix. It's wonderful.
Great.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
All righty, let's get on to the last caller here, 780 area code. You're on the air with Mary Dusina.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, who are we speaking with?
Hi, Mary. It's Trish.
Trish. How you
Hi,
doing?
Trish. Hi, Trish. Thank you. What a strong voice you have. I like your voice. Do you have a question? Do you want me just to pull an oracle?
Mary, I just want to hear what they want to tell me.
Smart girl. Okay, what I got for you is the number 14. There's a 1 and a 4 in the tarot. That's the Magician, and that's the Emperor. If you add the 1 and 4 together, then you'll get the 5. And so you're coming into more creative change. And you got the Chameleon. You got that cute lizard. I keep hearing all over the internet about how iguanas are falling out of the trees in Florida because it got cold, and I remember that. But the chameleon spirit, it pulls you into the lizard category, which is active dreaming, meditation, a.k.a. dreaming as well. And the chameleon's able to change its colors to blend in with its environment so it can act. So it has a different type of cloak of invisibility. It's like, oh, look, I'm going to turn more green to match that bush, and now I'm going to turn more gray to match that concrete and that sidewalk. So it's got to do with blending in only for the purpose of being able to maneuver and navigate around any potential obstacles in the path. So it's like a different kind of Harry Potter, cloak of invisibility. But I feel like Spirit's saying to you, act on it, Trish, act on it, act on it. So it's like, I feel like that your gas tank is full, that your ability to go ahead with something is lit up. So I feel like it's just a matter of you turning the key, heading down the road. So there's something about an action cycle that starts for you. Like it's right in front of you, like February, like you're on the threshold. Do you know that? Do you know that there's like a lot of momentum around you? It's like I'm a little restless. I'm a little like it's like.
I hope so.
Yeah, I like it. It's new stuff for you. It's bold, and innovative, and out of the box. And not only are you opening up the envelope, you're finding a different color of an envelope. It's like you're ready to be that Vision Quest adventurer. Like I see you being an explorer of your emotions, an explorer, and wanting to navigate more empowering enlightenment type of approaches as you go to work, as you go to eat out with a friend or whatever. It's like you've got a different way that you're doing some kind of paranormal panoramic view. It's like you've got a different way of looking at things right now. Congratulations. That's a big energy shift in consciousness right there. It's the way you're embracing it. It's the way you're approaching it.
Last year has just beaten me right down. And
yeah, but you don't have weakness in your voice.
So far has not been any better.
Yeah, I think that's a cycle that's broken. I hate that you're the last call. Maybe you can try to be the first call in the second hour next month when we come together next month, because I feel like that Spirit wants to take that a little further with you, or you can, I'm not pushing you, but you could get a reading and take it deeper. This is something that you're wanting to completely break off, like you're needing to crack the eggshell. You know, I keep saying like you're cracking the eggshell, and so you're able to be more fluid. You know, when we crack an egg, there's a hard shell and there's a fluidity. And I just have to tell you, I'm going to commit to telling you that I feel like the testing part of it, that, you know, sometimes we can get caught in a pattern when we're going through a trial and error and, you know, leaps of faith and and jumping off the diving board and all that. And I just feel that behind you, you know, and as an intuitive, I tend to see things a little bit ahead of when they happen for people. So I got to tell you, I'm liking the feeling of February. I see like leashes coming off of you and the car going down the road, and like you're leaving the past behind. Whatever the challenges were, it was a rite of passage. It was a dark night of the soul. You've had to look at the shadows like Joe talked about in the first and second hour, and I just see you emerging.
Yeah, we got to roll out of here.
It's not easy to go through it. It's not.
Yeah, I hate to cut this short, but we have to roll out of here, guys. I'm so sorry. We got to go, though.
It's meant to be.
Thank you for your call. I really appreciate it. We got like 30 seconds to get out of here. So, Mary, thank you so much for doing this. Man, that was full all the way down to the very end, right? So, if you guys want to get some real, one-on-ones with Mary and get some life-changing stuff, that'll help you. MaryDusina.com, MaryDusina.com. You got any final words, Mary, just real quick?
Bless everybody, and I'll talk to you by the new moon in February, and just fly free. Fly free, let go.
Hey, that's a good one to tell you. I was about to say fry flee and let go. Fly free and let go, everybody. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for Friday Night Open Lines. Please don't copy the show without written permission. Big shout out to Pacho, Mary Dusina, especially all of you callers that called in tonight. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Good night.
On this program do not necessarily reflect those of the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting, its sponsors, affiliates, or staff. Listener discretion is advised.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's all-new decaffeinated shampoo, the only shampoo that is guaranteed not to keep your hair awake at night.